What's going on? What's going on? We back once again. I see 17 comments already came through and they kind of funny already. I just glanced at them. Mr. Negative to Negative Man always do that. I'll have a show topic. He just likes to come in and just answer with one word. Yeah. We about to get into that. We about to examine this thing. D-Rock Den in the building. Shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. Drop a comment before we even get started here. D-Rock Den came through with the first comment. Peace, salute, and shout out to you. Jedi Mac in the building. Sam I am. Aaron B. Mace Taggart New. Mr. Negative to Negative Man, who I already shouted out. Mace Taggart once again. We got See the God One. I think that's how I'm supposed to say that. Don't know though. Don't know. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Darth Low IQ. Y'all be killing me with that Darth shit. Now man Don Calypso says hit the like button. The like button is on your left. Please press it upon entering the chat room. Thank you very much for that. Don Calypso. We got Brian Randall in the building. Says what's happening. We've almost made it down to the bottom. Well, not really, because the comments still coming in, and a super chat just came in, so I'm going to skip a few. I see Spiritual Logic Hawk in the building, though. Golden Eagle, Sun is hot, raw. What's the topic? The topic in the title. The topic is in the title. If you've been following along, you know where this is going. I've been deep diving into black pill shit, man. I started out. I'll go ahead and get right into it. But first, shout out to Ricardo Rodney for the super chat. Getting the morning started off just right. I appreciate that. Love the early super chats to come in. I appreciate all your brothers who hit the like, who hit the super chat, the cash app. Nothing but love and respect. Black Wolf in the building. Says, good morning, old captain. What's going on? Osama Abdul. I see my man Pablo Frescobar in the building. And Judge Zilla on some fuckery. I haven't even read it. I just could tell. He said, this show is brought to you by Brondo. Brondo. It has what you crave. What is Brondo? What is that? See, I be missing stuff. I don't know what's going on. Either I'm slow on catching a joke or I miss something because I don't be having my ear to the streets like I'm supposed to. But is that an inside joke? What is Brondo? Somebody help me out with that one. Shout out Bernie and all the kings in here. Typically don't do the king and queen shit, but I'll accept the term of endearment, the kind gesture of what you were trying to convey there. He says it's from Idiocracy. Brondo. Okay. Haven't seen Idiocracy in a while, but great movie. Great movie in concept. I would like to see a serious non-comedy get made out of that. That's the good movie I really want to see. An Idiocracy, but it not be a comedy. It be actually real, and we see, the real ramifications of it all drawn out. That's sort of what we live in. But I want to see it really, really just driven home. I want to see a movie really drive that one home. Black Wolf says, Bernard Riley, this show is also brought to you by the Snow Bunny Hunter gear for the black man that plays in the snow. This show is brought to you by the Snow Bunny Hunter gear for the black man who plays in the snow. Yeah. Carnell Black, y'all coming through. I see y'all out here. Carnell Black in the building. He says, Brondo like a Gatorade. Oh. From the movie Idiocracy. Basically, they didn't have water, so they drunk Gatorade because they was stupid. They was too stupid to figure it out. Well, Gatorade had electrolytes. Yeah. Yeah, zero. You knew you knew where I was going. It's already exists. It's called life. I want to see it really. I want to see that point get driven home in a movie where it's like what we got going on, but just take it, just put it 50 years in the future, where it got worse and worse and worse, and but don't make it a comedy. Make it a real live actual movie. I'm talking the president of the United States. You know, the president could be still smart enough to where he graduated high school, but he didn't go to college. Like something like that. Wait a minute, did Trump finish? Do Trump got a degree from somewhere? Shit, we might be already there. I know he attended college. Did he finish? That I don't know. He says you're becoming a realist, and that's for real. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Get out of there, zero. We ain't there yet, man. 2050, 2050. That's when it's going to be. That's when the formation. That's when it'll be complete. That's when the transformation will be complete. Give it about 30 more years, and the transformation will be complete. Sorry if y'all heard me sipping. I had to take a sip of some Gatorade for the electrolytes. Cause water don't got the electrolytes, so you have to take a sip of the Gatorade. Oh man, oh man. But yeah, no. It started out. Black Pill J sent me an email. Just on some, hey, you never did a show about Black Pill, so hey, you want to do a show on Black Pill? I was like, hey, I'm in. And it was a good show. Black Pill J came in, said some shit that he said, and said some good stuff. And then BGS and Zero came up, and they dotted a lot of the I's and crossed a lot of the T's and whatnot. But it was overall a good show. And what I noticed is most of the Black Pill people that I talk to are people who reportedly have no problem getting pussy. And Zero says none of these dudes are black pilled. They just like to say it. That's interesting. That's part of what I'm trying to almost. That's not solely what this show is about, but that's a small piece of what I'm trying to figure out here. Because I actually just had a conversation with somebody in my chat. Somebody who admitted that hey, they can't get nothing. It's over. They said that when he called me a Tyrone. He says the comment. I'm gonna highlight the comment. It says Bernard Riley does not accept or believe in the black pill. However, he's a Tyrone. He's a Tyrone, but he don't believe in the black pill. Now, I didn't think I was necessarily a Tyrone, because if the Tyrone is the black male equivalent of the Chad, and the Chad is the guy who just gets all the pussy, I was never the guy who just got all the pussy. I did, concede the point that yes, being born 6'1" and having an athletic build and being dark, it's a lot of black women and white women that's their exact type. So yes, that did help, but I was just never that dude. I was kind of socially awkward. I was like I tried to explain in the comment that I must have been a socially awkward Tyrone, whatever, if that's possible, if that's a thing. But then he rightly pointed out, I got to get the name of the person who I'm talking about. I want to highlight the comment and just highlight the conversation. But real quick, Mr. Fantastic came through with the Cash App. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. And Fantastic, stop starting all these damn fires on my show. and set the Black Manosphere ablaze and started the fire on my show. Cut that shit out. It's like I ain't know what was going on. I unplugged from this shit. I came back and everybody still was talking about the shit that happened, and I'm like, oh man, goddamn. But yeah, I ain't even go comment on it. I ain't even go comment. The way I okay, I'll give this. Yeah, Jedi Mac, I noticed that. Yeah, that numbers hopped up quick. Yeah, at 181 already. That's pretty early for 181. But he said Tyrone Cell. Yeah, get out of there. But the only thing I will say about that whole incident, I don't mind BGS, the master teacher. Yes, I will call him the master teacher. I don't mind him being challenged. I'm no big fan of it getting disrespectful. That I am like that. I respect my elders, but they're not supposed to get an unchallenged pulpit. I do agree with coming at them and challenging what they say. But at the same time, the only part that I had a problem with was the disrespect. So BGS, if you're listening, I don't want you to feel like, you come on my show and, disrespect is just outright allowed. I'm going to try to do better at that. Part of the reason why this show got the title, The Grown Man Hour, when we first got going here, we was talking about some shit that normally would result in a fucking shootout, but we kept it clean. We kept it fair. We kept it, we kept it in pocket. When the disagreement, it got a little passionate, but it ain't never get out of hand. We conducted ourselves like grown men and had good grown men conversations about, sensitive and hard hitting and sometimes touchy topics that could get somebody off they square and out of pocket, but we kept it in pocket. And that's why Pablo Frescobar came up with just said, hey, this is like the grown man hour. And then that sort of became the title of the show, the grown man hour, because we had good conversations and conducted ourselves like grown men. And I don't want to get too far away from that. So I do want to, make sure that, that we keep it clean and we keep it decent over here. But nobody's above being challenged. I just want to make that very clear. And sometimes, and sometimes, that's been gotten away from, or some people. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but yeah, nobody's above a challenge or critique. However, I do like to keep it, a certain level of respect. So, if BGS, if you're listening, you come back. I will do better at making sure that the conversation don't go that far, and we can keep it clean and you can win or lose on intellectual grounds. Put it like that. Put it like that. That's where I want it to be. That's how I want the conversation to go. Get the fuck out of there, fantastic. You said I've called that old nigga 1,000 times. He played victim to hide the L. That nigga say nigga a lot. Yeah, man, get out of there. Get out of there. I'm trying to clean up your mess, and here you come throwing some more shit on the floor. I'm trying to sweep up after you, and you gonna throw some more trash on the floor. You one of them niggas that when I'm almost done washing dishes, you come out the room with all the plates that been in your room all day and drop them in the sink when I'm like two dishes away from being done. You was that person. Gonna throw more dishes in the sink when I'm almost done washing the dishes. Oh man. Oh man. Let me get back on the topic. But yeah, just wanted to touch on that. But thanks for that cash app, fantastic, and thank you for everybody who's came through with the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, I hit that like button on the way in. And eventually, I'm going to actually pull up the conversation that prompted this topic. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Trying to pull it up right now. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Nope, not there. Not there. Yeah, I can hear me humming some Stevie Wonder. Melody came through with a super chat as she always do. Think I can't even click on it. I'm fucking up this morning. Hold on. I'm fucking up this morning. I'm gonna get it together. Give me a second. I think I got it. Azrael6394 says, "How can I get a wrench, Bernard?" I'm a little stingier with the wrenches now because a lot of people got them. It was a time early on where just one $5 Cash App got you a wrench. I can do that now. Everybody got a fucking wrench, but so I'm a little stingier with them now. Typically, when somebody make a large donation or a content creator, I will add the wrench. If somebody makes a large donation or fairly consistent donations, that tends to be how I end up handing them out. And I've been seeing you around, and you've been dropping them. You've been dropping the donations. So you end up with one. Oh, but I'm actually trying to find you. I don't got your channel up. You might have got one today if I had the YouTube channel up. I can't even do it right now. But give me a second. I'm trying to pull something up. I hate when I got dead air when I'm fumbling through my keys trying to find out how to make the shit look right. I don't like dead air. Yeah, it was The Darkest Night. The Darkest Night was who I had the convo with. The Darkest Night. He said Bernard disagrees with Black Pill, yet he's a Tyrone. I'm going to show the rest of that conversation, but let's see what somebody said down here real quick. These women, like Sister George, always give excuses for black women. I'm gonna read that again. These women, like Sister George, always give excuses for black women. I'm gonna like that and heart it. I'm gonna definitely like and heart that comment because I don't know who that is who just came out of nowhere with all those truth bombs this early. They were just sent from the Lord with to deliver us so much truth. Let's read that again. These women, like Sister George, always gives excuses for black women. Can I heart that twice? I'm going to unheart it and then heart it again. Let's unlike and then like it again. And unheart and then heart it again. And let's read it again. These women, like Sister George, always give excuses for black women. Okay. All right, I think we got that part covered. All right, cool. Long as we made sure everybody understood that. But okay. Dark Knight says Bernard disagrees with Black Pill, yet he's a Tyrone. I had some disagreement with that. Because I don't know what a Tyrone is. I don't know what qualifies. He said Tyrone Riley, brother of Teddy Riley. I've had some moments where some women have made it relatively easy for me, but I feel like I had to put in a lot of work, a lot of rejection, a lot of, stick to itness. And I think that's how it is for a lot of guys. A lot of guys have to really keep at it. You got to go out, you got to approach a lot of women, you got to get a lot of rejections under your belt, and over time, you get better at it. But if you're out there shooting shots, eventually you will cross that woman that just she's just really feeling you, and she makes it easier for you. Or you end up getting with something that didn't make it so easy, but you still got it anyway. But overall, it just culminates to you ended up having a nice, somewhat happy sex life, where you're going to end up dealing with a lot of, I'm sorry for that background noise, you're going to end up dealing with a lot of average women, depending on how active, how vibrant, how frequent, how much quantity of sex you want. Yeah, you're going to dip down to some average women. Ain't nothing wrong with average women. You might even fuck a few below average ones, and then nothing terribly heinous about that act right there. But then you're still going to have some. It's going to be on a bell curve. You're going to have some that's more on the cuter side of it, and then you're going to get something that's like, whoa, she bad as hell, And over time that happens, and so I've had some that it was just like, whoa, this is I outdid myself today. That has happened. That has happened, and so if that makes me a Tyrone, but I was under the impression that the Chad or the Tyrone is somebody who just just off looks alone, sex appeal, swag, and charisma, they just get it like that. It's just a damn near automatic thing where they, and it wasn't like that for me because, like I said, when I responded to him, I was socially awkward. I was socially awkward. I didn't know how to talk to women. I had to learn that. I had to get better at that. I had to figure that shit out. And it wasn't easy. And I still didn't figure it out 100%. If my approaching women and talking to them, because it would be some women that would look at me like they were attracted to me or like they were feeling me, but then when I would go talk to them, the shit would go left and they would lose interest. So if I was performing at a D- when it came to talking to them, at best I probably got up to about maybe a C, and that was enough for me to, get on. But what he's arguing here is that me being tall, well, I'll just read exactly what I said to him. Let's see. I said, I was a socially awkward Tyrone, if that's a thing. Women used to look at me, yeah, same thing I just said here. Women used to look at me with interest and then reject me once the conversation got going. When I got better at talking to women, my percentages went up. But I agree that there was a certain look that I had that got me in the door to where I at least had an opportunity to fail. I don't think all is lost for an average or below average guy. He will never be a ladies' man, but if he can find an average or below average woman, I just said women, not woman, average or below average woman with her head on straight, he could still be in a happy relationship. Now, I do believe that. I do believe the guy who's saying it's absolutely positively over. I'm short, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that. And I really haven't encountered that guy who says that and admits that it's over. Well, I'm reading to here too soon. Let me read what he said, and then what he says in response to me. That's what really sums up the point and what prompted me to even start to even do this topic. He says, also, it's worth it's worth noting that most of the women I had casual sex with were average. I didn't have ace just throwing it at me. That was rare for me. It happened. It happened. It was a chick who was, bad as hell. She was half black, half Mexican, and she happened to be, my cousin was engaged to her cousin. It happened to be her birthday weekend. All the stars lined up just right, or I met her, and 4 hours later, through a series of events where I kind of just through proximity ended up hanging out with her and like four other people, and then went back to her cousin's house, who was engaged to my cousin, and some shit went down in the basement. That's it was a situation that happened to happen to where this chick that was bad as hell. I'd only known her for 4 hours. We ended up having sex, but shit like that it was more rare. You know, most of the time, just outright casual sex. We didn't really put in no work. We just, I don't know, met on the app, talked a little bit, probably met up once or the first time we met up, it was at somebody's house. A lot of those was, average women, you know, just average looking women. And that's how it is most of the time for most guys, even guys on the more select side of the scale. It's only a really small percentage that just have a lot of those experiences like that with eights and nines. But anyway, he responded to me by saying, and I can't see the chat. Y'all probably saying some crazy shit. Somebody probably dropped a super chat on me. John H said even Tyrone has to put in work. Very true. Let me see what else we got going on in here. I knew somebody else. Yeah, I didn't want to miss nobody's super chat. Our pops and uncles are supposed to help us in our game. Some people have it naturally, but most don't. Yeah, I don't think people can really help with game as much as they say. I always say dating coaches can teach you good do's and don'ts. My brother had game out of this world, and it wasn't, he could have told me some do's and don'ts, but it was nothing he could do to make me be him. It was nothing he could do because he just naturally had it. And it was weird because me and him phenotypically, we look alike, we sound alike, we just practically the same. I'm 6'1", he's 6'2", so we practically the same height, had the same build. People used to look at us at a glance and might, mistake us or be like, "Damn, I thought you was your," people say, "I thought you was your brother." We looked alike, but the way he got it in with the ladies was infinitely more than what he was. He was technically an Alan Roger Curry. He had a very direct method of dating, of not, I won't even say dating, because I remember I asked him for some advice in taking women out on dates, and he was like, "Dates? You take women out on dates?" It was a foreign concept to him because he just, used to just walk up to him and just shoot a very direct shot, and it was either on or it wasn't, And it helped. He was a popular dude. He was, somewhat of a, he was somewhat of a basketball star in the city. That helped. But he even when he was out dealing with women who didn't know him, he still had similar success. And he just knew how to talk to him. He just knew how to talk to him. But so that's why I don't think that, even with my brother being a game aficionado, aficionado. I said nardo. Okay, I don't know if I said that word right. Don't worry about it. Moving along. I don't think he could have taught me what he did. He's just that dude who's good at reading people. He just know how to look at somebody and then just figure them out and just know what to say to them. It's a gift. It's a gift. Some of that shit you can't teach. And that's why I understand why some people say that some dating coaches are charlatans. They're trying to sell magic fairy dust. I get it. I get that completely. And sometimes it do feel like that. But that's why, I like to really listen to what dating coaches are saying if it's more instructional. More instructional. If they're giving good instructional do's and don'ts and whys and why nots. Y'all out here clowning in the chat. It says my game is psychic. Black Wolf, I'm not mad, just not in my normal cheerful mood. I'm not watching the chat. You better not be on some fuckery down there, Sister George. Jesse, the awkward dude. He usually has much more to offer than the charismatic dude. I can agree, but it took me a long time to understand that. Okay. Okay. You don't sound like you don't know fuckery. Took her a long time to understand that. She's calling her man awkward, but that's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with an awkward dude. Nothing wrong with an awkward dude. He got something to offer. And the thing about an awkward guy, he really not awkward once you get to know him. He just comes off as awkward initially. But once you get to know him, you find that he's normal and y'all can establish, develop some inside jokes, and then y'all cool and y'all getting along and y'all are happy. But anyway, the Dark Knight responded to me. He said, wait, no. He says, Bernard, yet you're a Tyrone. All you had to do was not be socially awkward. To some degree, that's true. Once I got over the social awkwardness, I was able to get on a little more with the ladies. However, it is true that one chick did too. Well, okay, and I'm using socially awkward, maybe unfair. Well, I don't know how it's hard. The person who's socially awkward don't know that they're socially awkward. I'm just assuming that I was. Because if you're socially awkward, you feel normal. You just know that you don't like being in large groups. So introverted was the natural is the right word to describe what I was. I was just naturally introverted, and when I got in large groups or even in smaller groups with people I didn't know, I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't say nothing. I was like, I don't know these motherfuckers. So that's just how I was. I was just quiet like that when I got around large groups. So I had to overcome that because pussy. I wanted some pussy. So yeah, I overcame it. But anyway, let's see. He says, Bernard Riley, yet you're a Tyrone. All you had to do is not be socially awkward. But when you're short and ugly, no amount of game, dressing nice, working out, and all this BS will work. Young guys really have it hard today. Even if you're average, you almost near done. See, that's the part of it that's hard for me. He says, even if you're average, you're almost near done. I think what he mean by almost near done, I had to sip some more Idiocracy Gatorade. Excuse me. He says, where was I at? He said, even if you're average, you're almost near done. It's honestly so bad. I've tried it all. Yet people deny my reality and tell me I'm a loser. Tell me I'm the loser. Funny, this is why I stay this way, because it's all shaming and hamster wheeling. Putting the blame on you. I wasn't always like this, and so where a lot of other guys in the black pill community, we were optimists just like you guys, but through experiences repeatedly, we have been cemented in this ideology. It was a lot there. And that's what prompted me to say this, to even start this topic, because Black Pill J, starting with Black Pill J and then MGTOW Dictionary, then they got me down this rabbit hole where something that I haven't fully. Hold on, wait, somebody giving me some intel. You said he's fucking 19? 19. Yeah, you can't call it at 19. You definitely can't call the game at 19. You might finish school, get a good job, become more valuable, I think, see, this is where I'm being careful because I don't want to deny his reality, because I don't want it to be a situation where I'm just assuming, oh, no, man, you just got to do this. You just got to do that. I don't want to deny the man's reality. But I think it's a strong possibility that he may be looking at it from a perspective where he wants to be a ladies' man with at least average women. But if he's short and ugly, and I'm just going to give him 5'3", I'm just going to give him Black Wolf. How old is he? Do you know? You know he's 19. You probably know his height. How old is he? Not how old is he? How tall is he? That's what I meant. I don't like you calling the game at 19. But I do want to know how tall is he? Israel. He said, Bernard, fuck his reality. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say fuck his reality. Jay says 1 out of 3 men are incels. There was an interesting study that showed that between came out a couple years ago. It said that between the age of 18 and 29, 1 out of 3 men reported having no sex in the last year. That would technically qualify as a 33% incel rate from I guess that would be the younger millennials, maybe some Z's in there as well. So yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Oh wait, you said he's likely 5'7". You don't know his height. You don't know the man's height. If I would have took more time, I would have tried to get him up here. You don't know the man's height. Brief intermission. Go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Real quick. I don't know where we at. I don't got YouTube up. Yeah, I could be clowning down there in the chat, saying all kind of words that are not YouTube friendly. Hopefully the mods are deleting shit because I ain't watching shit because I don't even got the YouTube up. One other thing to keep pointing out, because I've been telling y'all back and forth for a long time that I'm gonna have everything set up and be cammed up and all of that good stuff. You know, it takes a little while for everything equipment to come through, but I got my camera, I got the camera stand, the lights are on the way. I didn't think I was gonna need a desk, but I'm gonna go buy another desk today. What else came through? Something. I got almost everything I need. I got almost everything I need. Oh, I gotta get a. I'm gonna get a big monitor. I'm gonna get a big monitor. It's two. It's only like 2 more things I gotta buy, but everything else has gradually come in. Oh, some AC adapters. I'm looking around my house trying to see. Oh, what else? What else? Something else I needed. Something else I needed. But I think I got everything I need. Other than the desk, that's easy. Just got to put it together. I hate doing that shit though. But got to put a desk together and buy a monitor. I got a long HDMI cord. Might have to buy another one. Yeah, I think I got everything I need. So maybe next week. But no, one of the things I need, the lights. I don't know. Maybe I could do it without the lights. But the lights, they're estimated to arrive between the 17th and the 21st. So I'm going to do a live in studio thing. He says, Pablo says, I imagine a man cave type studio from Bernard's channel. Yep, we great minds thinking alike, because I got everything set up in my basement looking very, very man cavey down there. So I spent not too much time, because I didn't just hook up the whole down basement, but just the area where I'm going to be working. I did a lot of stuff to make that right. Got to have the vibe and the ambiance just right. Shout out to Angry Man and Kevin Samuels, how their show, their whole setup, it got its own personality going on. I like that, and that's the vibe I'm going with. But it will be more of more fitting to my personality and the personality of my show and what I'm doing. So yeah, we definitely going to be getting into that. Next week is the earliest. Next week is the earliest, if not 2 weeks. All depends on when shit get here. But this it being over thing, for somebody who's short and ugly, what I think it is that now I don't believe what a lot of people stereotype this as as if short, ugly, and broke guys, and if he's 19, he's broke. There's nothing wrong with being broke at 19. Nothing wrong with being broke at 19. But the stereotype, which isn't true, at least I've always said it's not true, is that short, broke, ugly guys are holding out for Instagram models. They want the IG model. They developing this whole ideology because the Instagram model didn't respond to their DM. I don't believe that. I appreciate it, Pablo. I saw that the comment just went away and lost me. He said, I'll be donating the stock to the bar. Yeah. Yeah, I'm be drinking in the morning on y'all. Y'all gonna, y'all gonna have me drunk before 12 noon. Yep, Tommy Sotomayor got a nice setup too. Yep, I look at people like that, and that's sort of what I'm trying to go for. But but yeah, I'm looking at what he's saying, and I don't believe the stereotype that it's short, ugly, out of shape, and or broke guys who are holding out for eights, nines, and tens. I've always said men have a very comfortable understanding of where they're at. We get data in real time. You could think supposed to be able to get this. You keep trying to get that, and then rejections coming hard and fast, and then you lower your standard down. You know, you holler at some fives and fours, and if they rocking with you, then that's where you at. Every now and then you still might get lucky and get you something a little better, but you know, I think men have an understanding where they're at. They get rejection in real time. It's nothing hits harder than real time data. We get real time, real life data. And it's hard to argue with real time, real life data. So I don't think men are delusional like that. I think women are delusional because a guy, like I've always said, a guy who's a 7 will still fuck a 5, a 4, and sometimes a 3 after midnight. You know, that's what a lot of guys do. So that has a lot of women delusional and thinking that they are higher than what they are because they're getting dick from a guy who, shout out to Game Changer and how he words it, a guy who's more handsome than what they are pretty, a guy who's more physically fit than them. So the woman is the one who's delusional about where she's at. You see this all the time on Kevin Samuels' show. And if you're a guy who's out there having sex with wide variety of women, you've seen it in real time in your life because you know good and well that if you're a guy who's 7-ish, yeah, you're going to be shooting your shots at 7s and 8s, and you're going to want to be with those 7s and 8s. But you do like pussy. You do like fast, quick, easy, random pussy. And if a 5 is the one who's throwing that at you, and a 5 is just an average looking woman, a 4 is just a, slightly below average looking woman, then yeah. Even though you're a type of guy who could, pull a 7, a lot of us, keeping it real, we're accepting pussy from 4s and 5s. Guilty as charged. I'm guilty as charged. So women are the ones that are delusional, but the stereotype that I don't want to stereotype the Darkest Night with and say that, oh, he's just shooting above his league. But I do tend to believe that a short, ugly guy, and he's admitted to being short and ugly. Black Wolf speculated that he's 5'7". That's what Black Wolf speculated. We don't know for sure how tall he is. Let's give him 5'5". A 5'5" ugly guy. There's a ugly woman who will be willing to be with him if she's not, happy being the fourth woman in the rotation of a more select guy. And the argument is that more of them would rather do that. Thus, the guy who's short and ugly is saying it's over. And that's where they get the it's over from, because it seems as if they're trying to be the casual sex guy for average or below average women, but those average or below average women can easily just get in the casual sex rotation of an above average guy. They may be at the back of that or the middle of that rotation, but they're in the rotation, you know. So that's why a lot of these guys are saying that it's over. But I do tend to believe that if they were content with not being a casual sex guy for these women, and they would rather be in an actual relationship with these women, which I think many of them do, because if they're not getting no pussy at all, if they have to get pussy in the context of a committed relationship, they will accept the pussy on whatever terms and conditions they can get it. You know, I had met a chick. This was this was oddly enough the veterinarian chick that I mentioned last night, who was we went out on one little outing, I guess a date, cheap date, but a date, and she had told me she was doing the born again virgin thing. And keep in mind, a side note here. This born again virgin had a big ass tiger tattoo on her back that went all the way down to the crack of her ass like a thong. But she was saving it for the marriage. So I'm supposed to sit here and date her for, what, a year and a half, no pussy, while she got a big ass tiger tattoo covering her whole damn back that went all the way down to the crack of her ass like a thong. I'm supposed to just be with you and not be fucking you. Born again virgin. Okay. And I believe you too. I believed her. But anyway, the reason I brought her up, shout out to New. He says, bring me the girls they want and I'll let them know if it's oh yeah, good shit. Good shit. Thank you for that super chat. Show me the girls they want, I'll let them know if it's over. Marty W says, Bernard, you need to leave black women alone, G. I love black women. I love them. I can't leave them alone. I'm addicted. It's like crack, man. It be calling me, man. It be calling me. Azrael 6394 says, this is why men need fathers in their lives. It's not pussy is not impressive. Living life to your fullest potential is understanding what's your purpose. Living life to your fullest potential is impressive, is what he was saying. I skipped a comma. He said, understanding what's your purpose. Complex Design. Salute and shout out to Complex Design. Thank y'all for those super chats, by the way. Thank y'all for those super chats. Complex Design says, yes, I've been born again to take your born again virginity. Get out of there. He says, Bernard, you know me, ADOS, ride or die chicks only. But where are y'all riding to and why do y'all got to die? Where y'all going? Damn it. I'm forgetting why. Oh, yeah. I brought that chick up because I asked this dude. It was a guy I work with. This was before I even knew what an incel was. I had no idea what an incel was. I don't think I knew. Nope, I didn't know what the black manosphere was at this time either. I had stumbled into a few dating coaches. I might have stumbled into Lucario at the time. But overall, I didn't know that much about none of this shit. I really didn't. But it was a guy I worked with who I wouldn't have called him an incel then, but I would now. And he was short. He was 5'4". He kind of looked like he didn't look like Frodo. He looked like Sam. The the other Hobbit, Samwise Genji or something like that. I think that was his name. He looked like him. He looked stubby. We called him Barney Rubble or Sam from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he literally looked like him. Was short, stubby, but somehow had some big ass Hobbit feet. Like he was just a weird looking guy. He had hair on his shoulders. because he would be, he's doing blue collar work, so he working in a cut off t-shirt with hair on his shoulders. And I worked right next to him, and you working next to somebody doing blue collar work, yeah, side by side, working on the same shit. So yeah, got 8 hours to sit there and talk. So I'm sitting there talking to him, and I found out that he hadn't had no ass in 2 years. He's a white dude, and I asked him. I told him about the chick that I met that had the tiger tattoo that covered her whole back and went down to the small of her back to the crack of her ass like a thong. I told him about that chick, and I was like, if you met a woman who, she's had sex before, but she's talking about she's not having sex until she's married, would you continue on dating her? And his response was, I haven't had sex with a woman in 2.5 years, so what would be the difference? So he was like, of course, I'd continue right on dating her. So I'm saying that to say that a guy who's an incel, who's not getting no ass, he will accept the terms and conditions of the sex regardless of how he had to get it. So I'm saying that to say that these guys who are saying it's over and are black pill, they more than likely, who are black pill incels, because all black pill are not incels. I want to make sure I'm making the distinction, even though I saluted him for being honest. And because normally, like most of the black pill people that I talk to say, oh no, I had no problem getting ass. This was one of the ones who confessed that no, I'm short, I'm ugly. That's how I became black pilled, because I just kept seeing the reality. So I appreciated him for admitting that. And so I've come to the conclusion that these guys get out of their complex talking about something. They don't have $40. What's not true? I'm watching and paying attention now. What's not true? Khalil Denmark. What's not true? The relationship part, that accept the sex regardless of the terms and conditions. If that's what you're talking about, I do think most of these guys would, and I was using a guy I worked with as an example of that, and I do believe that that's generally how it works. But if these guys are trying to be ladies' men, if they do want casual sex, Khalil Denmark, he says, a lot of incel guys have dignity. Well, is there a lack of dignity in being in a relationship? If you're an average guy or below average guy, as the Darkest Night describes himself, he says that he's short and ugly and 19, which means he's more than likely broke. So he's short, broke, and ugly. His own description, I'm not insulting the guy. So if he's short, broke, and ugly, and he encounters a woman who's also ugly, and she requires a relationship with him, is he operating from a place of lack of dignity for being in a relationship with that woman by way of accessing the sex? And keep in mind, when we're talking about incels, we're talking about them when they get to sex dolls. It's quite often it's not because what they end up enjoying more than just having sex with the sex doll. It's the non-sexual shit, the cuddling, the head on the shoulder, stroking the hair type of shit, like that type of that's the shit that they report that they enjoy more. Just to have the simulation of a woman laying in the bed. It's the affection that they meant that they like hugging the doll more. Like that's what they've reported. They like hugging and cuddling with it. So if he's missing out on all of that being an incel, just an overall lack of touching, a lack of affection, is he really in a place of dignity if he's a short, ugly, broke guy and he finds a woman who's ugly, who's below average, but he can get that affection from her. He can get that affection from her and the sex from her and the companionship from her. I can't look at it like he's I can't look at it like he's selling himself short or that he has a lack of dignity. I can't look at it like that. Now, if he's just going to hold out until he becomes more successful, Dog Pound says Bernard Riley, even ugly chicks, I think he means want men a step or two above them in looks. Yeah, I already touched on that. And I said that myself, I've had sex, I've had casual sex with women who were a step or two beneath me in looks. I knew the type of women that I was actually, gunning for. I knew the women that I was really attracted to. And I was able to get those women sometimes. But when it came to, just being out there dating and you seeing who's throwing you choosing signals and who's not, who's down for the get down and who's not, you're going to take what you're getting. A lot of guys do that. And maybe we need to not do that. Maybe we need to not do that. But a lot of times we're going to take what we can get. We're going to take those average women and get it in with them at night and some below average ones. Silent Lamont in the building says, Bernard facts, men are sorely lacking in non-sexual attention. I think a lot of men are used to trying to make women happy, so little women are trying to make men happy. Yeah. Yeah, and I experienced that. It's like when you holler at a chick, it's like when y'all going through that whole process of you got her number. I'm sorry, what the fuck is that? God damn, that was a big ass, nasty, dirty ass truck that looked like I don't know, it was like a wood chipper on the back of it, but it looked like they dumped bodies in there. Like, god damn. Looked like it was blood on the side of that motherfucker. That was a nasty ass truck. But anyway, yeah. When I was out there, I would notice, like when I get a chick number, even when you're hollering at a chick, even when you texting a chick, when you're trying to get at her, when you're trying to do all that, a lot of times it's like the chick is just sitting there with her arms folded, just like nigga, do a magic trick. Like they want you to do magic tricks to impress them, to entertain them, to appease them. It's like that's how a lot of women come off. Now, yes, give it time. Talk to a lot of women. You're going to run into some that's going to be, and you could tell right out the gate the ones that are feeling you to the point to where they're making it easy for you. They're the ones doing the magic tricks. They're the ones. They're tap dancing in the top hat for you. But some of them, they want you tap dancing in the top hat. They just sitting there like, they could do a magic trick. Really? A rabbit out of the hat? That's it? You just gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat? The last nigga just made somebody disappear. And you just pulling rabbits out of the hat. That's all. Like, that's the attitude so many women got when they dealing with men. And that's how you know they talking to a lot of damn men. And that's how you know, and they getting dick from guys that are, shout out to Game Changer, that are more handsome than what they are pretty. And that's why I can sympathize with the average or below average guy when he says the market is just fucked up right now. And that's why they are saying it's over. It's over. And that's why they are saying that. Game Changer in the building. I saw you requesting the link, Keith. Damn, it's been a whole hour. Okay, yeah, it's time to drop the link. Let me just read the rest of this conversation that I had with the Darkest Night. Let me read the rest of this convo and then I'll drop the link. Let me see if there's anything else that I definitely wanted to get to before we went forward. Yeah. Oh no, it was just the last thing that I said to him. Damn, did I just thumbs down my own comment? Shit. Yeah, I said, well, I'm not going to deny your reality. You are really the first black pill person I have talked to that has admitted to not being able to get women at all. A lot of black pill people in this space say that they have no problem getting women and they disassociate it with incel. I appreciate your honesty, and going forward, I won't be as dismissive. Okay, and I said the short, good-looking guy, and I kind of said this already in my diatribe, so this is unnecessary. But he says, I said the short, not so good-looking guy that we all know that does good with the ladies, because we all know that there is a guy that we all can name. Hey, there's one guy I know. I can name the guy. He was short, had a big forehead, some little pointy ears, some beady eyes. He was kind of weird looking. He wasn't just butt ass ugly. He was just weird looking. He was probably about 5'6", 5'7", but hey, he did better with the ladies than me. He just had that personality. He could walk up to a table full of women with resting bitch face and just walk up to the table, and they just staring at him. When he first walk up, they looking at him like an insect that crawled on the table. But within 10 seconds, he's said something. He's broke the ice. After 30 seconds or so, they laughing. They all comfortable. They taking their jacket off. They getting ready to party. And like it was something about him. He just had that personality. He had it. I didn't have it. He had it. He used to tell me that if I had your height, your looks, your build, he was like, God damn it, I would have fucked this whole damn city by now. That's what he used to tell me. But I'm like, but because he had something between the ears when it came to personality, when it come to just his whole knowledge, game. I'll say game. He had something that I didn't have. So I don't know. I can't explain it. He had extremely high social skills and social awareness. That may be one way to put it. But a lot of them try to disassociate it with incel. I appreciate your honesty, and going forward, I'll not be as dismissive. The short, not so good looking guy that we all know that does good with the ladies has extremely high social skills. There is a genetic component to being a social, charming, charismatic person. A very social, charming, charismatic person. There is a genetic component to that. I think you are who you are. I was introverted as a kid, and it was hard to socialize me out of that. We act as if it could be turned on and off. I've always said it's very difficult for dating coaches to teach that. Have you worked one-on-one with the dating coach? Because he said he's tried everything in terms of the game and all of that. So I was curious to know if he's worked one-on-one with a dating coach before. I was curious about that, and he never got back to me. So yeah, that was the end of our conversation that prompted this stream. And without further ado, I'm gonna open this bad boy up. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Link is in the chat. When you come up, let's try to really assess the degree in which it is it over for these guys? Because that's what I've been hearing a lot. It's over. Like they can't get a woman at all in any context. And I didn't know that was that much of a thing. I really didn't. Red pill and black pill effect, says Bernard Riley. Makeup, hair, weave, nails, lashes will boost a 6 chick into a 9. I think it can get her a 8, thus the adjustable 6. And she will reject men below 9. I think she will reject below. You almost on the right track. It will bump her up to an 8, and she will reject men below the 8. And that's true. That is true. But a 6 who's above average, a 6 is technically still cute. So a 5 looking to get that 6 who's an adjustable 6 who can masquerade as a 8, you know, it's very possible he might be gunning out of his league. Possibly, you know, possibly. But anyway, without further ado, we got an audience here. We got an audience here. Well, not an audience, a panel. We got a panel. Okay, somebody's
Eating hot fries in the background.
yeah. Think over the crunching Cheetos came on crunching Cheetos and shit. All right, complex design. What's going on?
Hey, top of the morning, Bernard. What's going on, y'all?
What's up? What's up? Go ahead, man. You got the mic. You got the floor. Is it over? Is it over for him? For some guys,
It's never like over. Um, I don't know. I think this doesn't really have anything to do with women per se. I'm getting something else completely. Like I'm just getting like just just utter dejectedness. Okay, and so women is that women are a convenient object to project that towards. Now I think the he's only 19. Is that what it was?
that's what Black Wolf has reported from the
Yeah.
chat. I'm assuming Black Wolf is accurate. So we working with a 19-year-old guy who's admitted to
Yeah.
being short and ugly and broke by default because he's 19. So
Well, I mean, I mean, what social status, right, can a 19-year-old actually try to aim for at this point? I mean, there's very few 19-year-old like millionaires and shit. I mean, there's some, okay. Now there's not even like 19-year-old thousandaires out here like that. Okay, some, but like you have to be realistic about where you're at in life. That's why I put in the comment. A lot of these dudes they listen to too much of this bullshit, all this red pill. I mean, I'm not saying there's no truth to any. I just they listen to too much of it, right? Because at 19, like you thinking it's already fucking over. Like you're not even 21, dude. You like can you like drink at 20? Can you drink? You can't even drink at 18, huh? 19. You can't. You're not even old enough to fucking buy a drink yet. You're not even old enough to go to a bar to buy a chick a drink to see if you can game her up, quote unquote. You're not
wait,
even
hold
old
on,
enough
time.
to do it.
Wait, time out. Hold your thought, Mr. Shane
Yeah.
Vigil. What's going on with this logo? I see Mode One and I see Alpha Male Strategies. Why do you got ARC's book and somebody else's name right like that? I don't think that's cool. Yeah,
Wait,
you
what?
might need to change that. I don't know. I can't tell because it's kind of cropped out. So I don't know if that's a joke or something you're doing, but I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a man's book, his
Mm,
livelihood, and you look like you
yeah.
got another person's name on it. That's
Yeah.
somebody's brand that you don't shit on somebody's brand. So yeah, you got to change that, bro. You got to change that. Sorry to cut you off, Complex, but go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you cool. Yeah, and that's not cool, man. That's not cool. All right. Let me see what's my point. Yeah, I think really like he hasn't even entered into like the parts or stages of life where the things that he may actually have to do just for his own livelihood may actually be the impetus to like kind of change his results. You get what I mean? It's kind of like if you get put into like a different situation, move to a different location, get a different job, and you're around different people. Guess what's going to happen? Different results.
Yeah.
So he's too young to kind of like pack the shit in and just be like, oh yeah, well it's just over. I just think that's more indicative maybe of just like a rough childhood, man, an upbringing where he didn't really get a lot of encouragement. Like there's a lot of I think you were speaking on. There's a lot of dudes that are short, but fucking hey, man, like let them, these niggas that get off on the football field, right? 5'6", 5'7". Man, these niggas be pulling chicks. I don't know where dudes be getting this shit. Like short dudes don't get one. Shit. Okay.
Mind if I chime in?
Well, I was gonna go to Keith next if
Oh,
Keith's
go ahead.
ready. Silent, if you're ready, let me know then, or I'm gonna go to. Are you ready? Silent, what's going on, bro?
I'm airborne. I stay at the ready, player.
So go ahead, man. You got the
What's
floor.
going on, man? I tend to have a little slight disagreement with all that because I'm a realist. Where, I think for some men like that, yeah, it might be over. I mean, I'm just real. If you short and you ugly and you broke, most women ain't gonna fuck with you. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, it's a competitive market, and the pendulum swings up. Women have access to more men than ever. They're within their fingertips. They're closer than ever. So yeah, man, if you're a below average dude, that's just the real. Like, That's the thing I disagree with most people. That's what I disagree with a lot of the dating coaches, man. Your looks matter, man. Your status matter. It's gonna give you more opportunity. That's the real. If you're more attractive as a dude, if you're in better shape, you're gonna get more opportunities. You're gonna have the opportunity to have sex with better looking women, man. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, we could deny that shit,
Oh no, I
but
think. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I mean, like, if you think back to all of my commentary on all these shows, Kevin Samuels proves all of my observations, man. Like my man Red Pill, my bad, I'm out here with the hounds. My man Red Pill, made an observation, about the women essentially putting on makeup, right? Haven't you heard that commentary from me? Right? That it's not the problem with men. It's women who are regular. You look at women like this Tommy Loren chick. You take off that Crayola shit, the trip to the hairdresser, all that makeup and bullshit, and she just standard regular, man.
Yeah.
So what you have are women who completely overvalue their look, looking down on men who are better than them. Hence Kevin's show. Women who are making $30,000 a year are not making shit with men who are making $80,000, $90,000, improving their life, and they're throwing these men away like they're better than them. You know what I mean? So the problem, yeah, some men do this, but the problem is not the men. I mean, we can always have an argument of some this, some that, but the problem is the market is fucked up. Now, the thing is, as a man, you got to know how to be the most competitive within that market, but the market is fucked up, and it's not the men. I'm sorry.
Real quick from the chat. Okay, Mr. Chain Vicious said, "Come on, dude, you got to change that. You got to change that. Whatever that is." But
Tommy Loren is not a 7.5 to
yeah,
an 8
well, no,
because
yeah,
you see
well,
her on TV with all that makeup shit on.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels probably accurately said she's an adjustable 6, which means she's cute, but when she get did up and put her makeup on, she could bump up to a 7 or an 8. She can masquerade as a 7 or an 8. And then, that really ain't a problem. If you, without your makeup and everything, taken down, if you're a 6, and a 6 is above average, which means you're cute. But, when you go out, you're looking a little more, 7-ish or 8-ish, then,
But problem with
that's
that,
not
Bernard, is that that's not a problem. It's just the problem with a woman like Tommy is that the men that she wants can do better than her.
Yeah.
I mean, period.
Yeah, she's thinking
that's what it is.
she's thinking the fact that she can masquerade as an 8, as well as she's some high earning successful woman. She think all of that is supposed to get her some high earning successful, $250,000 a year white dude with a Superman jawline, and she's like, nah, she.
Because guess what, Bernard? Even the white dudes want you to be quiet.
Yeah, and Tommy Lauren proved something that I already suspected, because I suspect this about Candace Owens. I suspected about Tommy Lauren. Those chicks that do that for a living, where they talk and debate all those conservative talking points, and like we saw it with Candace Owens when she was in an interview with basically a back and forth with Cornel West, somebody old enough to be her daddy, if not her granddaddy, and she all interrupting and talking over him and just blah 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 blah. You could tell that's how they really are. They ball busting bitches. You can tell that about Tommy Lauren and Candace Owens.
They're not winning the BET award for best actors to where they could just switch that shit the fuck off. That's who they are, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell they ball busting bitches, and the type of dude that Tommy Lauren was describing, ain't no way in hell you want to put up with that shit.
I mean, and look how she was giving them directions. And here's my list, and you do this, and you're a boy, and you shut up. Nobody gonna be dealing with all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, all day. Yeah, she was on some bullshit. But damn, you had said something before I go to Black Pill J. I did want to bring something up. Damn, I forgot what you said. It was about whether or not it's truly over. Well, I mean, I understand that right now it's pretty, it's looking pretty bleak for a guy right now who's short, ugly, and broke, because he's young. He's supposed to be broke. Everybody was broke at 19 pretty much, unless you just really pulled off of something really impressive in life early in life. You more than likely was broke at 19. I certainly was. For that guy, whether or not, are we saying that guy who's short, ugly, and broke at 19, that if he's willing to be with a woman who's also not very attractive, are you saying that he can't even get that because those not attractive women, they'll rather just get their cock carousel on? Like if that woman is a 3 or a 4, she'll rather get her cock carousel on with a guy that's a 6 before she actually get with a guy who's a 3. Is that pretty much the argument?
Not absolutely. I mean, he could get one that'll cooperate. Yeah, I mean, a lot won't, but he can get one to cooperate. But the problem is, no man is going to be productive in life with a 4 at home, man. I'm sorry. Like, the problem is when I see guys comment like, yeah, a guy's shooting out of his league. A man is supposed to shoot out of his league because a woman is supposed to be more attractive than you, period, regardless of what level you on. So that's the thing I disagree with. I mean, if you're a 4 and our average, he is supposed to be a 5 or 6. Only in America, where men are supposed to be more handsome than a woman is attractive, that's where the issue is, man. So we say shit like that as if that should not be a given. And matter of fact, majority only black men got this fucking issue to deal with. Even regular below average white dudes walking around got attractive white women to choose from. The problem is there's a beauty deficit in our community. So, I mean, an attractive black woman is going to go to the highest bidder. Everybody know that.
All right, Black Pill J is in the building. I thought this topic might summon you up here. So what's going on? What you got, man?
Doing well.
I'll fall to the back. Peace, panel.
All right, yeah, thanks, Silent.
Peace.
Well, to answer your initial question, is it over? I mean, I think you already know what my answer is going to be. I did want to ask Complex Design, how old are you? Because I was listening to what you were saying, and
I'll be 43 this weekend.
Yep, that makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. One thing I've noticed is that usually men who are, I would say, 30 and up, they can't really fathom that that a man who's short and ugly can't get women, because you grew up in an era, probably before, obviously before social media, before dating apps and all that, and you were able to see with your own 2 eyes ugly men and short men getting women. Because
be careful, BPJ. Don't call him an old nigga. We ain't going there today. I'm just playing. That was a joke from a previous. I was making a joke about a previous stream. Don't just ignore that.
Not saying he's old at all. No, that's not about that. What I'm just saying is that it makes sense that usually the opposition from the black pill a lot of times going to come from guys who, in my opinion, are over the age of 30. So I just wanted that was just something that was I found interesting. But yeah, no, it's definitely over for, I would say, 1/3 of guys. I think that if you're kind of in the middle ground, it might depend on how much money you're making, or if you're able to elevate your status somehow, maybe by social media. And for the upper 1/3, I think I'm kind of around there. It's still hard because at the end of the day, you still have to compete with other Chaz and Tyrones from around the world.
Okay. I don't inherently disagree with anything Black Pill. I don't really subscribe to none of it, to be honest with you. I was a happily married man at one time. I'm widowed now. I'm going on 6 years widowed. So I would say that my perspective on it is wholly unique. Right. So I think the pills are social memes. Right. This is a social media construct. We're having a conversation based on social media constructs, and we're not really looking at how human interaction takes place. I mean, yeah, you could tell me 1/3. But who is the 1/3? Right. That's indeterminate. Who the quote unquote 1/3 is.
The 1/3 are the. I mean, if you just logically, the 1/3 will probably be the lesser attractive 1/3, the bottom 30% or the bottom 40%.
That you can't. But see, that's the thing, right? But you don't know whose faces that is, right? The guy who's saying, oh, I'm not shit today, may hit on something in 2 years, and then next thing you know, his fortunes have changed. Right. So what I'm saying is that the numbers are the numbers, but you do play a factor and a role in it. You do.
No, I think at one point you were correct. You did play a role at it, but now in 2020, because of how the landscape has changed, for a lot of it, it's really not really under your control. If you're under 6 feet, you're already crossed off the list for a lot of women. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're ugly, then it's even more so. But back again, 5-10 years ago, that wasn't the case because you were able to compete um in a lesser competitive dating market. Now it's just like I said, it's a whole different universe that we're living in now.
Well, I mean, are you also factoring in like the social environment? Are you factoring in quarantine?
No,
Are
no,
you
no. Just it's fact the social right now. It's social media, dating apps. Those are the two biggest factors as to why the dating marketplace is where it is right now, which is in the crapper. And the fucked up thing is, it's affecting men in a negative way, and it's affecting women in a negative way. Look at Tommy Lauren.
But I know, and I get that, and my whole point to that is that okay, but we don't even see a larger environmental picture here. Right? Are we not looking at the macro? Okay, social media, that's the technological application of people communicating with one another, and how technology has kind of basically put like a roadblock in between people naturally communicating, right? See, there used to be verbal communication, now it's
It's not about the way people are communicating. What it is, if you
oh
understand
really?
female nature, women are only going to gravitate towards the highest men that they can get. So when social media plays a factor, it's basically, well shit, I'm a 6, but if I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to attract a 9 in the next town over, as opposed to maybe 10-15 years ago, where you just had to really you can only date the men in your immediate environment. Like I said, it's just the whole landscape is different. There's a lot of variables, but
Yeah,
so
you're telling me I see this. I'm single. I've been single for going on 6 years. I see the exact same landscape. I really do. I'm not arguing that somehow there's just an overabundance of feminine women out here and they're all dainty and all that. I ain't saying that shit.
Well, let me.
I'm saying I see the exact same realities as you, but at the same time, right? People do desire still to be with one another. So I
yeah.
can't attribute the all of social media and the all of interactions and then basically deduce from just that and that alone and make these conclusions. I can't do it. But no, I respectfully, disagree.
Can I chime in, gentlemen?
Well,
Hold on.
perfect Billis came up first.
Yeah.
I'm
my
gonna
bad.
I'm gonna go to perfect. I'm gonna go to perfect Billis first. But secondly, I do want to say, well, BPJ, I want to know what you think about this because you keep saying that that woman that's a 6, well, she can attract a guy that's a 9. I mean, a woman that's a 5, she could attract a guy that's a 8. A part of me like, okay, yeah, that's what they want. That's what they're shooting for. They're going to shoot for the top of the top. They ain't always getting that guy, and if they're getting that
I've seen
guy,
it. No,
they have to. No, they're not always getting that guy. If they get it, they're at the back of a rotation.
sure,
So
but
and so in reality, they still are dealing with to some degree. They're still dealing with dudes that are on their level. Now they may be jerking him around, wasting his time, or like I said, sitting there with their arms folded, waiting for him to do a fucking magic trick while they, rolling out the pussy red carpet for some other dude who's only gonna have sex with him and that's it. That much is true. I don't disagree with your I don't disagree with your analysis, but I don't think that these women are just riding off into the sunset with these
no,
8s, 9s, and 10
Yeah.
guys. If they're average women, they're gonna
no,
ultimately end up with
I
average
mean,
guys
I'm not,
eventually.
I'm not
Hold on,
it's a
real
saying
bit
that.
quick,
it's a
Lord.
bit absolutist.
Yeah,
No,
Lord Command. Hold on, real quick.
trying to.
Lord Commander, the deregulated sexual market has messed up everything. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. And Big Game Orenthal James says Juggernaut Law. I don't know what Juggernaut Law is. Maybe you can explain that in the chat. Shout out to Manosphere Maniac. What's up to you? And go ahead and respond to that, Black Pill Jade, and we're gonna go to Perfect Billis.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm not saying that that women are going to be able to lock down and settle with these 10s, but what you have to understand is once a 6 hooks up with a few tens, even if it's just one, now her standards have elevated because of that. Yeah. Oh, well, shit, I fuck Chris Brown, so I'm not going to settle for a guy who's on my looks level. I'm going to shoot for a guy who's as close as Chris Brown as they can get. That's why you have a lot of women out here, and I'm not sure if this quite applies, but you have a lot of women who are alpha widowed. Once they get with a high value man, they're unable to settle for anything less, and that's why you have all these women on Kevin Samuels on his YouTube streams, because these women, because they've gotten a high value man once or twice or a few times in their 20s, now that's all they will settle for. And a lot of women are older, they're now a little bit bigger, their value has decreased, and they will, like I said, will settle for nothing less. So you got to realize a lot of these women would rather be alone than to settle for a guy who's around their looks level. That's facts.
Let them. That's their bad. Like, dude, you can't be consumed and concerned with the outcomes of others. I know I preach this whole indifference thing, and I catch hell for it, but I'm sorry, you got to show me the value proposition in giving a fuck.
Yeah, hold on real quick, BPJ. But I think the things that you're saying, and maybe Complex isn't noticing this, what he's saying is the women being that delusional, it translates into it being over for some guys, and that's the part that I miss.
And that's why I'm kind of confused. I'm like, dude, like, it's over because someone else is delusional. Like, fuck them. You X them out of the equation.
He's saying the argument is such a wide majority of women are on that delusional shit that is going to create a large percentage of guys that is going to be over for. I think that's
the reality is there's a lot of crazy people in the world, so choose accordingly.
Yeah, and I've always said no matter how bumpy the terrain is, your man, you got to figure that shit out and got to blitz through it. But perfect.
I'm not trying to say that the what's his name, the Darkest Night guy. I don't think that he should give up 100. Like, just because I'm Blackpool doesn't mean I'm trying to be defeatist. But is he an incel? 100%. Is there something that he can do about it? Sure, but maybe not right now. I mean, the guy is only 19.
That's my whole point. So it's kind of it's not cool to like pack it in right now, man, because you have no fucking idea like the shit that you might be, the greatness you may be encountering here in the not too distant future. Right, I've seen it happen. We do with homies that they were regular dudes and then did some shit.
Yes, back in your day, Complex, but that was back in the day.
No, that's not back in the day. That's every day, man. Every day.
No, Complex. The time is different now. That's why I asked you your age. You keep on saying I know a guy who's like Complex. Like, I get it, but that was a different time, bro.
Let's put a pin in that one for a while. I do want to get Perfect Billis and Little Big Nate in on this real quick. Last year, Deviance Gaming came through with a $25 super chat. I appreciate that. He says the women with the highest standards tend to be the most garbage. Damn. All right, Perfect Bill. Thanks for that super chat. Thanks for that super chat. The Perfect Billis, you got the floor. You got the mic.
All right, man. All right. First off, let me just say this because I'm gonna actually say this in parts. First off, it is completely unrealistic to base your views on the world and of people based on what you see on social media, because the vast majority of these people on social media, they're talking shit, they're exaggerating, and all of that stuff, because saying the most outlandish things on social media is that's what gets you attention. Attention is like a form of currency. So I wouldn't take a lot of what I see and hear on here seriously as far as like how I approach the world. But the main point is that, look, as far as it being over because you're 19 years old, you're broke, you don't look a certain way, I think that's bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was 19, first of all, I'm only 5'6" in height. And when I was 19, I used to be a fat fuck. You know what I'm saying? I was nearing 300 pounds back then. And I just told you my height. So yeah. But the thing I realized was that, because see, I used to have that extremely defeatist mindset back then, you know what I'm saying, to where I'm like, man, nobody wants me and this and that. So this is what I was telling myself. And of course, that is how that's how I approach life. But because my mindset was extremely pessimistic like that, you know what I'm saying? Because my mindset was extremely pessimistic like that, that's pretty much what I was getting, you know. And the crazy thing about it is, I look back on that time in my life. I look back on that time, you know, with a rational mindset now. I'm like, you know what? Despite how I looked back then, the fact that I was broke and all that shit, and despite the fact that I was a fat fuck and all that, women still used to come on to me. But because I was so pessimistic, I didn't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I was extremely defensive and stuff. I didn't see it that way. But what I ultimately realized was that it's always going to come down to your confidence, how you feel about yourself. Because no matter what you look like, if you're confident in yourself, then you will eventually find somebody. Now, it may not be an 8, 9, or 10 or any of that shit. And as a matter of fact, man, first of all, stay the fuck off of Instagram, stay the fuck out of the music videos, all that shit. Bro.
Thank you.
But anyways, so get some confidence in yourself, man. Believe in you, because ain't nobody gonna believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. If you're going around telling yourself all this crazy ass shit that you're this and you're that, nobody else has a reason to want you either. You know what I'm saying? And your attitude is gonna push people away too. So there's that, man. So quite obviously, I eventually got the weight off and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I did that, and I eventually began to feel better about myself. And when that happened, so did the behavior in women change towards me. So I felt better about myself legitimately, and I went from being the short dude, you know what I'm saying, who had the fucked up mindset and this and that. Then I felt better about myself, presented myself better. And hey, their attitude towards me changed. You know what I'm saying? So to sit up here and say that it's over with because you know what? Now scratch that. Because this is gonna be another anecdote, but I've seen dudes, same thing, not to judge men, but you will look at this dude, be like, man, that's an ugly ass nigga right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you look at how they carry themselves, you look at how they think of themselves. Them dudes ain't hurting for women, bro. They ain't hurting for women. I've seen this plenty of times. So, you know what, bro? I'm reading the chat, man, and some people don't like what I'm saying. That confidence is what it comes down to. Look, bro, there's nothing. Look, nothing is 100% out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't get this woman as a result of having high confidence doesn't mean that you can't get any woman. You're not gonna always get what you. You're not gonna always get what you want, man. No matter what the fuck you're doing right, and it's not always gonna happen. But you will get something, though, homie. You will. So,
and what you want may not always be what you need.
Say what?
What you want may always not be what you need.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro. This whole thing about 8s, 9s, 10s. No, man. Like, man, stay off Instagram and all that shit, bro. Again,
I feel a lot of what you're saying, but I don't think these conversations come down to dudes just happen to be with an 8, 9, or 10. I think most guys who average or below average would take an average or below average woman. I think that's how it is, because it's more select guys who are fucking average and below average women. So obviously the average or below average guy will get with an average or below average woman. I don't know. I think that's shorthanding the problem when we try to word it that. I think we're straw manning their position when we do that. Real quick, Jason Bixby says nothing is new under the sun. Whatever worked for mating before still works now and always will. Thank you for the super chat. I think the game has changed, but a lot of stuff stays the same. Yep. I do agree with that, but there are differences. Dating apps in this modern mindset, all that shit matter.
Hey, bro.
Jack 3D, hold on real quick. Jack 3D, shout out to everyone on the panel. I would also love to hear the women's. We need a woman's perspective on this topic as well. Bernard, you're doing an excellent job. Thanks.
Hey, bro. Man, dudes in the chat, man. You got some dudes in the chat telling me I'm blue pill and all this, man. Look, bro. Look. Now, anybody who knows my jacket on here, anybody who, when I used to be on Obsidian's panels, man, look, I was about as red pill as the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I used to go harder than almost anybody. But see, that was when, I was looking strictly on the outside then. But see, when you start looking at yourself, homie, when you start doing that and, try and figure out at least what can I be doing, to try and improve the situation. You know what I'm saying? And see, a lot of y'all who want to, call me blue pill because I'm saying, you know what, bro? maybe you need to change the way you look at yourself, the way you carry yourself, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to, because I mean, after all, you know, it's like anything else in life, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like anything else. The way you approach things, the way you think of it, that can play a major role in the outcomes that you get. I mean, life ain't nothing but one big ass self-fulfilling prophecy, homie. So change your fucking attitude, then maybe you can get something. Blue pill, man, bitch, get the fuck.
Hey, how old are you, man?
One fulfilling prophecy. Damn.
Hey, I'm not sure what your name is. How old are you?
Perfect Billis. He want to know how old you are.
I'm 35.
Well, just like I said, over 30.
Man,
Well,
nigga, I just told you my story about how shit was when I was like younger and stuff, half my age, bro. I just told you.
Proved my point. You proved my point.
Nigga, I ain't prove a motherfucking thing. What I'm saying is that I told you about my life when I was half my age, bro.
That's my
What point are you proving, dude? Like, I'm facing the same dating environment you guys are.
No, the dating environment is not the same as it was back when you were 18.
I said I'm facing the same one that you guys are. What
Black Pill J BPJ's argument is that for Gen Xers and older millennials, that I would fall in that category. I'm like a year and a half away from being a Gen Xer or something like that. So I'm right on the edge. So for people that fall in my age, in Perfect Billis, who's just a few years younger than me, and those that are older than us, it was easier for an average or below average looking guy to get a girl back then because women weren't as delusional from all the dating apps and social media and all the, you know, easy access to dick that they can get. So he was basically
and Bernard, the question is that as a single guy who will be 43 this weekend, how is it any different if I'm single and I'm literally looking at the same dating environment?
Okay,
the only difference is my age affords me experience. That's the only difference.
I see what you're saying,
and I'm dealing with the same women he's talking about.
Yeah,
but see, that's the thing, bro. That's why I came on with my introductory statement where I said that you cannot take this shit on social media that you see seriously. Man, these bitches be talking crazy as fuck on social media, man. But I mean, a lot of them are not really living that shit.
Okay,
so you can't do that.
Kevin, for the 19-year-old Darkest Night or whatever his name is, he's 19. The vast majority of women around his age are on what? Social media. So it's for you to say that social media doesn't play no factor. Like,
I didn't say it didn't play a factor. I said you can't take it seriously.
You can't take it seriously. It does play a factor, and that's why you can't take it seriously.
You have to take it seriously because, again, the vast majority of women that are around his age are on social media. They're on Instagram. They're on TikTok.
I'm a fucking billionaire on social media, bro. I'm a billionaire on social media. Does it make it so?
Yeah, take him seriously.
Okay,
because he says it.
I think you guys are failing the point. I'll go back to you, Bernard. They're not getting it.
Well, no, I'm simply saying that, man, people present themselves one way on social media, but they're living a completely different life. Because on social media, bro, on social media, these bitches will sit up here and say they got this kind of dude, a nigga who's fucking 6 feet tall, nigga got fucking 10-pack abs, that boy a fucking millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin,
in reality, they work at Walmart.
But hold on, Thug. Hold on, Thug. I'm saying though, bro, they'll say all that shit, but look at who the fuck they get pregnant by. Who they actually fuck with. Man, these folks be on this bitch stunting, man.
But Kevin, for someone like Darkest
Night, you calling him Kevin? You talking to Perfect Billis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Okay,
you calling him Kevin?
My bad. I thought his name was Kevin.
You're throwing me off with that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is that I can't see his name. But what I was saying is that the women that he's dealing with, if you're Darkest Night and you have a social media account and you're, let's say he's like 5'6" or whatever, and he's ugly, how is he going to be able to succeed when, again, all of the women that he's dealing with are on social media? They all. It's not like we're living in a time now where everything is online. So you can't say that, well, the social media ain't real, but it's real for most of these women out here. They're going for guys who have
Are you implying that because of social media, guys are no longer approaching? I mean, he still can approach a woman in reality. Okay, so
I'm not saying that. Okay,
are you saying social media has the women delusional? In other words,
it has them. Well, not just delusional, but their options are basically unlimited. So why the fuck would you go for a guy like Darkest Night, even if she was a 5, when she could fuck a 7 that day. Like it's just not really. We're living in a different reality than what you guys were.
Those are perceived options. They're not real ones. They're not in proximity.
What do you mean they're not real options?
They're not real options. They're not. Most of these people you're talking about are not in proximity. Like if somebody.
Yes, they. Complex. What are you talking about? They have Tinder. A woman complex. Hold on. Complex. A woman who's a 6 or a 7 can go on Tinder and get a guy literally in like a half an hour to hook up.
I don't contextualize women in numbers, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh,
go ahead,
goddamn Complex.
Man, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, one point is worth making. Because of the dating apps, and if you can consider that a part of social media, yes, it's true. You can go on there, and they show the proximity that this person is 10 miles away, 30 miles away, so forth and so on. And Facebook, seeing as that's centered around a lot of your friends and your friends' friends and so forth and so on, a lot of those people are in close proximity.
And you know what you can, and Bernard, you know what you can deduce from proximity? You start talking to a person, you find out what side of town they actually live on, whether they're in a house or an apartment. And then you start talking about there's kids in the background. So I'm just saying, like, you could play the fucking role on social media, but then once you start the interactions, that's when you can really gauge what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah, no, I agree. Hold on. We gotta move forward. We gotta put a pin in that one too. We gotta move forward because I gotta get to go to Little Big Nate, and I do want to hear what Game Changer got on this one too. But Lord Commander came through with another super chat. He says confidence doesn't exist in a vacuum. Confidence comes from validation over time. You need success in some area in life to solidify your confidence. Yeah, confidence is not just an absolute. Yeah, it's not a magic thing. You could just snap your finger and have confidence. But run real quick. Perfect Billis. Shout out to you for that. I didn't know that you was over 300 pounds at one point and 5'6" with it. So yeah, you was a big dude. So shout out to you for losing that weight. That's huge. That's a wonderful
body
thing. So,
right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
I'm saying, bro.
We are about that here. I gotta go to Little Big Nate. He been waiting for a while, been very patient. So go ahead, Little Big Nate, and then we're gonna go to Game Changer, and we got Silent Lamont coming back. So all right, let's keep it rolling. Go ahead, Little Big Nate, you got the flow.
I just want to come on and say that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I just want to come on and say that right quick. I'm gonna let y'all have it.
All right, peace, man.
All right.
Yep.
I appreciate it, Bernard. Salute to the panel, to the chat. This it being over stuff, it's humorous. When men think it's over, they go get their Taurus 9mm and they stick it up under their chin.
Thank you.
That's what you do when it's over.
Yep.
It's not over. This is ridiculous. I'm not privy to this conversation from the beginning. I came in about 10 minutes before I jumped on, but I heard folks going back and forth about, this 19-year-old guy and whether or not he'll be able. Look, if you have no problem having sex with overweight 40-year-old women, you could have a line of women outside your door wrapped around the fucking block. Are you serious? It's over? Okay, if he's 19, granted, you may not get beautiful 19-year-olds, but there's plenty of okay-looking 40-year-old women that will sleep with you in a millisecond. It's ridiculous. It's over. There are over 3.8 billion women on this planet. And yeah, a lot of them are on social media, but not all of them are. The brother talked about being 5'6" and overweight. I'm like 20 pounds overweight. I got to lose about 20, but I'm about 5'5", 5'6" myself, if I'm paying attention to my posture. And although I would never claim to be able to pull any woman I want, I'm by no means a ladies' man, but my God, I haven't had a lot of trouble in the department of women. Confidence comes from your accomplishments. Confidence without accomplishments is nothing. Just like faith without works is nothing, so is confidence without accomplishments. It's never over. It's only over if you decide it's over. A woman won't leave you if you lose your job. She'll leave you if you lose your confidence. And then you're sitting around the house for the next year and a half doing nothing.
Well, she will leave you because of both.
Well, we disagree. There's plenty of.
You're saying that there don't exist women that leave men because they lost a victim?
No. I said
only on YouTube, Game Changer. Only on YouTube. We can say it.
No. It's not.
Women will leave you for both. I mean, there is no argument. Like women will leave you because you lose your job.
I think to make what hold on real quick to make what Little Big Nate was saying a little more precise. A good woman with a decent head on her shoulders won't instantly leave you when you lose your job. But if time goes by and you just sitting on your ass and not trying, then she'll leave. But some women, your job is your job and your money that you make. That's what she's actually dating. If that stops, she's gone. So I think that's the point the Game Changer and Keith are making. So all of y'all are right.
What they suggested is that if you lose your job, the woman leaves, regardless of what kind of woman it is. That's not true.
I didn't say all that. I mean, you guys want to make these things absolute. You guys have these conversations. Like I didn't say absolute.
Wait, we don't even need to go back and forth on that. I think I just put a perfect bow on it.
It was just clarified.
I just clarified the points from both sides and put a perfect bow on it. We can move forward. Like
So no, it's never over, especially for men. Men, your job as a man is to adapt to your environment. You want to complain about social media and the advent of third and fourth wave feminism and the effect it's had on women. Fine. There's also some pluses. If it all comes down to sex with a woman, these women have largely abandoned their virtue. They've abandoned the idea of having reverence for their vagina and their womb, which means there's millions of them that will sleep with you for little or nothing. Go take it.
Well, not him. I think Lil Big Nate, that's what you're not getting for guys like him. See, for guys like us, yes, I think through the lens of those guys, they've looked out into the world and see us guys out here with women all the time. All right. And they go to talk to women and they can't get any. Again, like they said, the confidence comes from, proof of success. All right. If I didn't go out and had a high level of success with women, I probably wouldn't be confident with women. I'm confident with women because I know in a lot of cases when I open my mouth, it will work. I'm confident that my brakes will work on my car because 100% of the time when I hit the brake, it fucking works.
Well,
all right.
The issue, as far as I see it, is a lot of these young men, these quote unquote incels or what have you, they didn't grow up with a father. They don't understand how to persevere through difficulty. They don't.
I ain't gonna go into that.
Because that implies that other men grew up with fathers. Like a lot of men, period, didn't grow up with fathers. So,
I know we go into these guys are just weak and don't know how to talk to women and they all just live in their basement. I know we always go to that talk.
I think the overall point that Lil Big Nate is trying to make here is going through persevering through something, right? So whether you have a father or not, it's basically tackling the challenge and conquering it, right?
What I'm saying is, what men are we talking about?
Learn that from.
Who are we talking? Like we always go to this basement dwelling, sniveling loser, no confidence. Who the fuck are we talking about?
We're actually talking about a 19-year-old. We're actually talking about a 19-year-old who said.
Yes, but you're talking about him, and then we juxtapose it to they. Like all these men are just incel losers.
I was keeping it on the kid that we were talking about.
Complex. What's going on is we're psychoanalyzing a straw man, and we're creating a history for him.
Right.
Stuff like he doesally have a father. Or et cetera, et cetera, et
well,
cetera.
no, Game Changer. That's the reason why that's actually why I kind of brought it back and I said, well, let's just look at it as them not really persevering through anything. Now, what Little Big Nate what Little Big Nate was implying is that typically when boys are raised by fathers, their fathers are going to put them in sports. They're going to put them in some shit where they're going to get beat up. Exactly. They're going to have to deal with coaching and they're going to have to compete. That's typically what
we understand that.
Okay. Then so all we're doing.
Why are you arguing?
But what I'm saying is, I think what I'm saying is there's certain conversations where you guys take it to the lowest common denominator. I don't think the majority of men who have these complaints are basement dwelling losers who are 19 who just can't get no pussy.
All right,
so we just go.
That wasn't the implication. That wasn't the implication.
Haven't learned to adapt.
Well, we go into these guys just don't know how to persevere. And
let's hear where Little Big Nate was going with it.
Thank you. No, the problem is most of these men haven't adapted to their environment. Now, this environment is fairly new. It's what, 10, 12 years old? The social media environment, these women getting all the validation they need from Instagram and Facebook posts. It's fairly new, and it's going to take time for men to adapt to that. But we'll adapt. Don't be defeatist. We'll eventually adapt. Well, men will adapt. Others won't. Others will.
I mean,
everyone's just
I do
like,
wanna- I
it just
wanna
feels like
hear-
everyone's talking in diatribes or something. Like everyone's talking in like a speech.
And that's
Okay,
that's
so-
kind of okay.
I hear the Tony Robbins thing. Like everyone's doing their Tony Robbins, but
I want to hear Game Changer give a speech more or less. I want whatever prompted you to come up, Game Changer. I want you to go ahead and lay out whatever your point is on this. Melody, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. And New came through with a super chat. He says, "Where is the darkest night?" So he can speak for himself. Really, really good point. I expected him to be here. I should have probably pushed this conversation until tomorrow if I could have emailed him and see if he wanted to come up, because this conversation was based off him. We just found out 19-year-old says he's short and ugly and it's over. He can't get on with any woman. And we was analyzing that. So
Bernard, I just want to hear something I haven't heard before. Like I've heard all of these. Hey, these guys are insecure. You know, I've heard all of these arguments, these little diatribes. No offense, but all of these little collections of quips and sayings. I've heard all of this. We've heard all of this before.
Well, I haven't made up.
Like every conversation is this. Well, have you guys asked yourself, what are you doing as men? We've heard this shit.
So
that's all men have been doing.
Game Changer. I was trying to go to.
That's the answer.
I was trying to go to Game Changer.
No, that's not the answer, bro.
Let's go to Game Changer.
What's the answer?
Okay.
Lil Big Nate and Keith, far back.
Okay, let's go to Game Changer, like you said.
Yeah.
All right.
So you said that adapt to the environment. The difference historically between between those who adapt to environments and those who change environments is the difference between master and slave.
You see, historically, masters are the ones who control your environment. They control what you eat. They control who you marry. They control how many kids you have, or if you're able to have kids at all, things like that. Those who adapt to the environments are slaves that remain on the plantation. And as master changes the situation for the slave just adapts to ever weakening or ever changing conditions, even if it's for the worse. For example, if master says, instead of for 100 pounds, I'm going to require that each of you pick 150 pounds of cotton, and the slave adapts. That is the essence of being a slave. And that's kind of what the suggestion is.
I'd like to address that when you're done.
Yeah, please do. That's kind of what the suggestion is when you say that men should have to adapt to this changing environments. What we have is a situation where women collectively in feminism, and particularly, are changing the dating and mating environment. That combined with certain things like technology is also changing the environment. By controlling the man's sexual intake and forcing men to adapt, where 19-year-old men are sleeping with 40-year-old fat bitches, is them forcing you to essentially pick more cotton.
Okay.
And for people to say that, this is a valid solution, well, then, next generation, it will be 50-year-old fatter bitches.
Okay.
And then
I'd love to take that on. I'd love to take.
Yeah.
I don't think that Darkest Night, from my understanding of him, I don't think that he will be able to get a 40-year-old fat chick. And the reason being is because a 40-year-old fat chick can get someone who's better looking than him.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point about the bar moving. I'm gonna get into that in a moment. So basically what's going on now, from what I've seen, is that for one, men are just dating fatter and fatter bitches. And women are becoming more and more, how can I say, relationships in general, if you notice, are becoming more where the man is more handsome than the woman is pretty. And now the man is becoming more and more handsome than the woman is pretty. And we will write this off as adapting to the environment. Now, the problem with this is that sexual market value and beauty is a construct. Meaning that if all the men go for the women with red ribbons in her hair, then that will be what's considered beautiful. That will be what's considered valuable in that particular market group. And if all of a sudden it was to change to yellow ribbons, then that will, of course. Right now, if
Tommy Loren is a perfect example of that, GC.
Okay. I don't know who that is, but yeah, we cover that. But right now, if every man is going with 40-year-old fat bitches, or 50-year-old really fat bitches,
No one suggests every man do that.
Excuse me. Then that will be the new norm.
Okay.
As it has become the new norm in the Black community.
Okay.
And they will be just as difficult to obtain as the most sought after woman in any.
Exactly.
Okay.
They will be. God damn. They will be the new nines.
Okay.
Yep.
Go for it.
All right. And Game Changer, this is no smoke, bro. I respect you. I've been watching you for a little over half a year now.
Okay.
And I appreciate a lot of what you say. I even came on your panel once.
Okay, great.
But on this, you're absolutely wrong. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
If slavery is adaptation, then the billions of organisms throughout the trillions of years life has existed are slaves then.
Well,
see, no, let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Sir, let me finish, please. The dinosaurs didn't adapt. They went extinct. The crocodile did. He's a distant relative of the dinosaur. He adapted.
They didn't go extinct.
Adaptation. You gotta let me finish.
Oh my God! Can we keep it simple? We're talking about the Triassic area.
No. You attacked my premise.
Go ahead, little big Nate. You got it.
You attacked my premise, and I'm showing you that you're wrong. Deal with it. Okay.
Who are you snapping at?
I'm talking to you, sir.
Go ahead, little big Nate. You got it. I wanna see where this is going. I like the dinosaurs in the Jurassic period.
I'm just saying. I'm addressing game change. So, adaptation is not capitulation. Game changer.
Mm-hmm.
You adapt to an environment, and you can eventually take it over and overcome it. Adaptation is not capitulation. They're not the same thing. So,
okay, you finished.
Men need to adapt to this environment. Okay, that doesn't mean you bow down to these women. That doesn't mean you entertain their stupidity and their vanity. You don't understand that.
Wait,
hold on. Thank you. So now let me respond. Let me respond.
Go ahead,
adaptation is capitulation when it is a unnatural force that is making you adapt.
Man, I'm sorry, man. We sound like a bunch of fucking nerds.
So right quick, I'll let you finish. For example, a monkey who is adapting to zoo life is adapting to an unnatural situation that humans have created for him, which means that monkey is under the control and in submission to said humans. Now,
okay, but if humans are creating the environment.
Excuse me, Nate. Please allow me to continue.
All right.
Because we're talking about nature and dinosaurs here.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so a horse that adapts to a situation where a human being is on its back, whipping it and instilling what are they called? Those cleats on the back of the cowboy's heels, or whatever those is. That is getting cleats.
Spurs.
Thank you. That is getting spurred regularly is adapting to a situation that humans have created for him. Now, granted, species do adapt to situations that nature create for them.
Oh, okay.
And I guess we all submit to nature, right? I mean, if your crops don't grow, then you don't eat, or if for whatever reason it stopped raining globally, then we all will adapt through death. So we all submit to nature. However, in this case, we are submitting to the social conditions that is created by other humans. That's the difference between us and dinosaurs. But yeah.
Well, I appreciate you making the distinction.
Everything before the word "but" is bullshit.
You didn't make that distinction in the beginning, Game Changer. And you'll also notice that Siegfried and Roy, the circus act with the tigers, and how one day the tiger went tiger on them. Mm-hmm. You can attempt to make someone adapt by making them capitulate, but that horse will also throw you off all the time. That horse will throw you off its back eventually one day, and you'll break your neck. So maybe it's not about capitulating to these people's abusive.
Well, our rhetoric, little big Nate, is to tell men to throw the bitch off your back.
I got no problem with that. I have no problem.
No. Excuse me.
What in the hell are we talking about?
No, he's getting close to an analogy because he's trying to debunk the fact
Like we're just like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Well,
their analogy.
Once again, he's getting lost in the analogy because
I just have one question for a little bit.
Damn, man, tomorrow, come back. I was about to go to you next. Come back if you get a chance, man, tomorrow.
Sure, go ahead.
Bro. How old are you?
I'm 45.
Yep.
I'm over 30. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm over 30.
I'm telling you.
So wait a minute. If a 19-year-old is fucking 40-year-old fat bitches, how old and how fat does a 45-year-old fuck?
Oh, I don't have sex with overweight women. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is that what you were implying? Is that where you were implying, Game Changer?
No, I'm said 45-year-old men, but I mean, why would you suggest that?
By the time a man is 45 years old, he should be so successful and confident in his accomplishments, he can go pull any woman he wants, pretty much.
Okay.
All right. So there's that.
You would suggest that 19-year-olds do that?
I would suggest. Why are you saying 19-year-olds? I said a 19-year-old who feels like it's over. That's the 19-year-old.
What is? Let me ask you this, little big name. What is your direct, based on what Bernard just said about Darkest Night?
Okay.
In his description, what is your advice to a young man like that so he can no longer be an incel?
Okay. Now, I wasn't listening from the beginning. Forgive me.
Okay.
My advice to a gentleman who feels like it's over, who didn't have a masculine example in his life.
No, we don't know. No. We don't know that. We don't know that.
Who would have given him the ability to see how to work through these issues? I would advise him just to focus on himself. Don't even worry about women right now. Put all your energy into becoming the very best person you can. There's nothing you can do if you're short. If you're fat, there's definitely things you can do.
He was short and ugly. He didn't say. I don't think.
When it comes to men, now listen. When it comes to men and ugliness, there are things you can do that counterbalance that. Your success will counterbalance your ugliness. Your bank account will counterbalance your ugliness. It will.
I think in 2020.
Go ahead.
In 2020, here's what I would say. Just me dealing with women around the age of 19 to around 30 or so. Young women, especially around the age of 19, don't give a shit necessarily about a man's money. They do. It's kind of, but not as much as you may think. A woman would rather deal with a broke man who's fine rather than a guy who got money but is ugly.
Is that all women, sir? Is that
no one thinks all? That is a dumb question. Stop doing that.
He said 19.
Listen. No one thinks all.
He didn't make any distinction, sir.
Because we don't have to ask that question because no one thinks all anyway.
Do you want to deal with me directly, Silent? Do you want to do that?
Nigga, I'm not scared of you, dude. I'm just telling you. Little Big Nate, calm down, bro. You keep talking to me crazy, bro. Stop, bro. I haven't said much on this panel. Just stop.
Yo, Little Big Nate.
Just calm down, bro. Real talk. Here's what I'll deal with you directly. Little Big Nate. Here's what I'll deal with you directly. Brother, I'll let you talk. Why you keep talking over me, man?
Oh, my God. Okay. Go ahead.
Brother, you've been speaking. I've been in the background. You and Game Changer went back and forth. I got told not to interrupt. I fell back and let you talk. Calm down, man.
You address me by taking
Little Big Nate. Calm down, bro. This is why you don't sound fun, bro. Real talk. You don't sound fun, bro. You don't sound like a dude to get with. You sound like you got a stick in your ass, dude. Real talk. You're fucking rigid and fucking unfun. Like, calm down.
Enough. Cut it out. All right. Where was we at?
I asked him nicely.
Okay,
I asked him nicely, Bernard. I told him I wasn't coming for him. I just wanted him to say the response of not all is from a person who's not listening. We've been on these panels with females. Not all. We've heard that not all shit.
We get to not all thing. We get to not all.
What I'm saying is when I hear guys like that talk, this is what I meant by all I hear is these little quips and like it's just a collection of little sayings and quips. Nothing original.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sayings and quips. That's what it is? Really?
Not all. I could do that all day. Not all.
All right, not all. Okay, the points are made, and right now it's going back and forth about let that part go. All right, we got it. We understand.
Yeah.
So going back to what BPJ said, he said that a woman would rather take a broke dude, a younger woman would rather take a broke dude that's fine versus an ugly dude that got money.
And they will pay the consequences for that.
Well, okay, but you're missing the point. I think
Okay, what's the point, BPJ? Go ahead.
Just the point I was just trying to make is that for a guy who's 19 years old, if he's short and ugly, he's at an extreme deficit. So in essence, he is an incel. Until this is the reason why I would never suggest a man, someone in that position to just give up. He should work on
exactly
on bettering himself, but we can't just discount his experiences and say and try to imply that he can be he could go from an incel to actually having relationships with women, you know. In
BPJ.
Yeah.
Most men in their teens, you're not experienced with women. You're gonna find difficulty dealing with and relating to women. Most men. Some men just have a given gift for it. Other men have to develop it over time. You're 19. What the hell are you giving up for at 19?
Some men, hold on. Some men have it easier than
absolutely. Some men it's a natural.
But here's the thing though. But in a different era, maybe back when you were in high school, or even when I was in high school, it was easier for for a man who wasn't necessarily the most attractive or the tallest or the most handsome dude. It was.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
You just have to look at the data, look at the numbers.
No. I was actually there at the time, right? Like, how do you know that?
Data and numbers.
The Encyclopedia Britannica.
I was there in high school.
I don't give a shit about your experiences.
I'm saying
he read it in the Encyclopedia Britannica. What the fuck? This is what I'm saying.
I want BPJ to try to explain this. You keep saying that it was different back in other people's time, and in other people's time, you would have had to been, you know, but under the age of 10. You would have had to been under the age of 10. So, how are you so convinced that it was different for people who are older millennials, or what the fuck was that? People who are older millennials or Gen X's. How are you so convinced that it was different?
Early 90s hip hop era. Explain it to me. How was it different, bro?
Did you have social media back when you were in high school?
Doesn't matter. Tell me how it was different outside of social media.
Wait. Complex.
Like that dynamic.
Complex. Let him lay it out. I know it's an obvious man. It's an obvious answer. It's an obvious answer to the question.
You're being distinguished.
We didn't have social media when we was coming up. Social media didn't come. I was in my mid 20s when social media really started to take off and become a thing.
That is completely obvious. But what I'm saying is that the dynamics between males and females, how was it different? That is my question.
I just asked you.
Big J, lay out the point. Just lay out, make the case, Big J.
Okay,
and then we're gonna go to Man of Tomorrow after you make the case.
The only case I was just trying to make was that back when you were in high school, or a lot of the other people in the panel were in high school, you didn't have to deal with social media, so therefore you didn't have to deal with a certain caliber of women who were overinflated, who were.
How do you know this?
What?
How do you know this?
Let them.
Oh fuck. Okay, Bernard, I'm done here.
You are done because you weren't there. Go ahead.
No, you're not. You're being disingenuous. Complex. You mean to tell me
you're the one being disingenuous? You can't even quantify it. You can't quantify what you're saying.
A specific question. You just said it doesn't matter.
I was the one who asked.
Let him. Hold on, Complex. Let's let him lay it all the way out. Then when he get done, you could just pick it. Just let him finish. He's probably gonna make 3 points.
MOT got it after this.
You disagree? All right. I want to hear him fully lay it out with no interruptions. I want to really try to understand his argument. I can agree that the game has changed some, but I think he might be overestimating.
The more things change, the more they remain the same.
I believe he might be overestimating it, but let's just go ahead and lay it out.
It's only one point. The only point I was trying to make was that a woman who's a 5 in high school, because they receive so much validation through social media, through Instagram, through TikTok, they have a much inflated sense of their confidence and their sexual market value. So therefore, a woman who's a 5 in high school, even if we're talking about high school, is not going to go for someone that's at their looks level. Back in your day, Complex, when you were in high school, women did not have, it wasn't even the same. It wasn't. A woman
and real quick.
Hold on.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
A woman who's a 5 in their day, sure, they might try to go for someone who is a 7 or 8, but they didn't have nearly the type of narcissism, the type of overinflation of their egos back then as they do right now. And those are facts.
Complex, can I handle this real quick, bro? Real quick, please. Let me handle this one.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Real briefly, Little Big Nate.
Real quick, because I want.
Hey, I just don't want y'all to get mad with me interrupting when y'all take like all the time to talk. Just notice I'm in the background while y'all just keep going back and forth. Just know.
Cool deal. And I want to hear from MOT also.
Yeah, let MOT talk before I get to talk. I got
you. What's your name? The gentleman at the top right?
Black Pill J.
Black Pill J. Sir, those women are going to suffer some of the most dire consequences you can imagine. Their inflated egos, their overvaluing of themselves. They are going to be the most miserable 40-year-old overweight single mothers you can imagine. There are consequences. There are severe consequences. Again, women have pretty much control in their 20s. We gain control in our late 30s and 40s. Don't fret.
Hey, Bernard, I'll check you another day. It's apparent I'm not gonna get a word in, and I gotta clock in, man. Y'all niggas talk too much.
Okay, you see?
I mean, nigga, you've been talking the entire time. You wanted me not to interrupt. I've been waiting the time to talk. You've gone back and forth multiple times. I've been hushed, bro. I've been waiting to talk for a minute.
Keith, I thought you did have your chance to talk.
I didn't have a chance to talk. I was cut off and I didn't get a chance to talk again. And then I got people are pissed off for me interrupting while I'm watching this whole conversation go round and round. No, and then I get to talk, and then you skip me and go to somebody else, bro.
What end up happening is that when you interrupt, you will end up saying so much when you interrupt. I would take that as your
less time on this panel speaking. As I do at all times, brother.
I know you interrupt so much. I take that as what
I
it
have
is that you wanted to say.
interrupt because I don't get a chance to speak.
Well, you interrupted when you was in for you was on the panel for 1 minute and you interrupted, and then you interrupted a lot, and you said a lot. Are you serious,
bro? I've been sitting in the background for a minute as Game Changer, Little Big Nate, the new dude, Complex. Everyone's been going back and forth. But it's all good. Y'all got it, man. Maybe I'm crazy. Third world, I'll check you, bro. Y'all good, man.
Let me finish up real quick. Like I said, when we as men don't focus on ourselves and develop our talents and our skills, we pay in a certain way when we become 40, with lack of resources, with lack of respect. Women who overinflate their value in their 20s pay by being overweight, lonely, miserable single mothers. There's a price we're all going to pay for not doing what we're supposed to do. I would tell that 19-year-old brother, focus on yourself. Don't even worry about women right now. You find out what your talents are and you develop them. You will have women coming after you. Don't worry about it. Don't get wrapped up in looking at things in a macro sense. Anybody would get depressed looking at things in a macro sense. Look at what you as an individual can do for your success. Don't worry about moving this huge ship. If every individual just focused on themselves, the ship will move itself. That's it.
All right. Jockey's Retro says, PBJ, I think you mean Black Pill J. It's because the dudes you call ugly had better social skills back then. It may be some truth to that. With no social media, people were more social back in the day. So an ugly guy would do more face-to-face approaching and get better at it. That could be a factor that got to get averaged into the equation. JJ says SYSBM Travel Bros, black men don't have half the problems. Don't try to talk to my foreign chick when I'm not looking. Get your own SYSBM. Thanks JJ for the super chat, and also Demetrius Parham in the building. He says, please start kicking people that can't be quiet. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And without further ado, we're going to go to Man of Tomorrow. Real quick. I do think what's kind of getting lost in here a little bit, Nate was probably getting at it. Somebody who's in that situation where he's short and ugly, as the Darkest Night said, and you're 19 when you're supposed to be broke at 19, put your head down, work hard, build yourself up.
Absolutely.
And then know things will change for you later in life. You may not be able to have your fun at 19, but you'll be able to have it later in life. But anyway,
delayed gratification.
Yeah, delayed gratification. Yeah. All right, Demetrius Parham. Not Demetrius. That's it. I'm sitting there reading that. Who am I trying to get to? Man of Tomorrow. Oh shit.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
Doing great.
What's going on? Shout out to the panel. I heard all the perspectives here. I mean, this is why we need like a separate male space so that way we can give this dude proper advice. I mean, the proper advice for this dude, I think that you just hit on it, Bernard, is that look, the guys who are winning right now are not going to be the guys who are winning when it comes to 30 plus. That's why I'm with a heavy hand smacking these people down like they ain't shit, because they ain't shit. You spent all your time appealing to women, and now you're 40 years old, and you and that woman is in the same condition. I don't want to save either one of these people. What this person needs is to get around people who actually give a damn about him, because right now he is around the wrong type of people. And he's been surrounded by that too long that he thinks that somehow female validation, once he gets that, his life is going to start to work. Dude, that is not going to work for you. It didn't work for the people who claim that they're good at it. Dude, what you need to do is you need to focus on getting your finances straight. Because I'm telling you right now, the amount of fun and the amount of women that I can get right now pales in comparison to the amount of women that I had access to when I was overseas in Germany at 17. Trust me, having your actual stuff together is the greatest card of all. Absolutely. It takes a lot longer, but guess what? The moment you have that, you can stop caring about what unfeminine women think the moment you have your stuff together. But the problem is everybody want to try to skip all the productivity and try to go to looks and try to go to all this other stuff when productivity can beat all that stuff. Not only productivity, but actually putting yourself in an environment that suits you. Yes, the bottom don't suit everybody. it don't. And this is why you have to wait. This is why you have to wait through delayed gratification in order to get those things. Because guess what? Just like diabetes and anything else, by the time your ass get to be adult and your ass want to eat all that cake, you ain't gonna be able to do that shit any goddamn way. So you might as well enjoy the ride. But you cannot be having your sights set on the wrong shit. That is what's going to mess you up out here.
MOT, can I follow up on that point, bro?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. So.
Okay. I've said this on other panels and stuff. We talk about like the life trajectory in terms of men, and see, most men become millionaires. Okay, the average millionaire becomes a 50. Millionaire in his 50s. 50. Okay, yeah. Right. So you actually have to chart shit out as a man. Okay, because if we're actually going to be high achievers, if we're going to aim at something, then we got to have a marker or a measure to aim at. And from that, you have to then start to chart shit out. So at 19, does it really make sense to pack it the fuck in right now when the average motherfucker cakes it up in his 50s? Can we get some fucking perspective here? This is all I'm saying.
I mean, what I'm saying is, like, I could count probably within like the last 3 years, I probably went to like a 72-hour hold in the hospital with somebody who thought this type of shit and had to get their mind right, even if it took me going to the hospital with them. We have to create a space to where this type of talk isn't becoming so prevalent to where the guys who are in those environments, they see female validation as the actual crux of manhood. It is not. It has always been accomplishments and achievements. That is what can separate you from that environment and get you to new environments. The same type of validation that those people are getting actually digs them deeper within that environment. It doesn't liberate them from the environment. They have to keep doing it now. Look at the manosphere. You got every former pimp and dude who claim to be women rushing in here trying to get the youth to be focused on the shit that they failed at. Dude, we got to change the trajectory of this shit. And the only way we're going to be able to do it is not by focusing on women. It is about focusing on accomplishment. Because guess what? The women are going to be there. And you get to see their track record. And you get to form whatever you want to once you get your stuff together. We have to come back to the actual point of actual masculinity that's based on achievements. Going to the women first, dude, you will never get to achievements. You're forced to produce at a far lower level so that way you don't go to prison. They don't tell you about that kind of stuff. Because by the time you get there, they're out of there.
Do you realize the power you give women when at 19 you say it's over because of how they view you?
Jesus Christ.
All the power. Hey, why would you give women that much power?
But let's be fair. Hold on, y'all. Let's be fair, though. The guy is 19 years old. We all know what happened.
This is why we're saying these things, to get into his young head right now.
Oh, damn. Hold on a second.
Let him lay it out. Go ahead.
Dude is 19 years old. We all know how much hormones are affecting a young man's mind. And I will say this: I know when I was young, 19 years old, hell, that girls were like the number one or the number two thing that I was thinking about, and I think that's the case for a lot of men out here. So I understand that we're telling him not to focus on women, but in actuality, that's something that is very important in a young man's life, is his success and his validation with women. That's number one. The second thing,
fuck that. What are you talking about?
Hold on, one thing. The last thing I'll say is that I know we're telling him to focus on, being the best man that he can be, focusing on his bread, which I understand. But at the same time, getting money in order to attract women, or getting money for yourself and using it to attract women, is a beta male strategy.
Nope, got it wrong.
No,
you just got it wrong.
Wrong. The attraction of women from money is a byproduct. It's not the reason.
No, I understand. I understand that. I get that. What I'm trying to say is that if a woman is attracted to you based on your resources or your income, that is in essence a beta male strategy.
Whoa, hold on, bro.
Who's out here? Who said anything about peacock?
A woman can be attracted to a host of characteristics about you, and your income should be one of them. I'm not saying it should be the main determinant, but it should be one of the factors.
Women have a dualistic mating strategy. Alpha fucks, meaning the guy who is tall, the guy who is.
I mean,
we're too.
dude, again, we care about what women think again. Think about how your whole argument cares about what women think.
Topic, man of tomorrow. The topic is we're talking about a man who is unable to get women. So for you to come on,
we're telling him not to give a shit.
Then why the fuck are you on this panel? That don't make no goddamn sense.
What the fuck? This dude is packing it in at 19. Dude, what the fuck is with you in this defeated shit?
That's the answer.
What the fuck is this defeated shit?
That's not the answer.
God damn it, man.
How was I being? Hold on, complex. How was I being defeatist? I
said fucking shit. Little Big Nate, MOT, y'all got it. Sick of pissing me off.
Okay, well here.
Oh, you're not the smartest individual, my dude. I'm sorry.
All right, come on. All right.
No,
all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
Y'all,
so what we're saying,
y'all are literally on here trying to say, well, y'all focusing on women, bro. The actual thing is about women.
I know, but we're telling this dude to change his focus.
It's putting women in the proper context in your life.
God damn it, perspective, Jesus.
Yes. I want to circle back to what BPJ said, and I want to get y'all response to it. That using your money to attract women, that is I think he said a blue pill strategy or a beta strategy or whatever.
What he's trying to do is take productivity off the table and trying to put it in the hands of swag shit.
Hold on, wait, one at a time. Well, y'all are more. Y'all interrupting and y'all agreeing with him. Well, I know y'all was just co-signing, but I mean, just let him. I want to hear it all the way through. I couldn't hear him when y'all was jumping in there. So go ahead, MOT.
All right. So what we have here is an attempt to take productivity off of the table and put it in the hands of the woman to choose. Yes, she gets to choose, but the man gets to choose too. The problem is that I don't have these problems. I don't care about what these women think here. Because I can tell you, I can point to any compromised male, and you can see all these so-called good women in this space in the chat. The reason why they're over there, that's the type of guy they want to be with. Somebody who's going to let them run the show. Like, dude, all this guy needs is some therapy to get his mind right and get his ideas focused on what it's going to be on. There's a lot of guys who's winning within this environment because of what he said. That's beta. I don't care what's beta and what's alpha, because we got a bunch of unproductive alphas here being internet alphas. So to try to align with this animalistic actual idea of alpha and beta is silly in the first place, because alphas had a responsibility to feed everybody. Alpha's only responsibility wasn't just fucking everybody. That's the way it's presented within this space. But this is why the people with the least amount of accomplishments try to show you the biggest bag of women that they slayed. Nobody gives a shit about that in the real world, man.
That's their accomplishments.
Go ahead, Complex. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that is their accomplishment, and I'm sorry.
And it's the only thing that they ever done.
Don't fucking ask me, as somebody who puts money into shit to go and compete to make money and puts investments into shit. Don't fucking tell me that somehow I'm in some sort of beta fucking position to a motherfucker that can't show me anything other than a supposed collection. Man, are you? Holy shit.
Yeah. if you give women this level of power, at any point in your life, you're going to. Anytime you take your whether or not you're going to be successful in life, and you put that in the hands of someone else, you're asking to fail, man. You tell the brother to focus on himself. Tell him to find out what he's good at and get busy getting certifications or training. Find a mentor for his particular field of endeavor and get busy making money. He should be preoccupied.
Why are we assuming
money and not
Well,
making money to get a woman? No, not making money to get a woman. There's nothing wrong with a woman looking at tangibles when deciding whether or not she's going to fuck with you. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, BPJ, do you see how the problem you're running into? You're basically saying that a man who's worked hard to establish some money and power, he's now a beta male.
No, I'm not saying that he's a beta male. I'm just saying that is a beta male. That is the beta male strategy. That is the beta male part of hypergamy. Hypergamy, again, alpha fucks the guy who is the attractive man, the guy who doesn't need the income in order to get a woman who most women want, genuinely want, in a negotiation.
So are you
hold on real quick. Let me get this.
Go ahead.
Are you implying that a guy who does not have those physical characteristics shouldn't work hard to play the one card that he has if he has the smarts, intelligence, or just the outright hard work? That one guy that I talked about who was 5'4", I said he looked like a damn hobbit. He was a regular blue collar worker that didn't make that much money, but he had $30,000 saved up in the bank. He was, he was working hard and saving money. So I mean, it's on that. That's why people are saying that you're getting in a defeated place because hold on. Let me make sure I explain this properly. If he does not have the physical ability to be considered what a woman would call an alpha physically, why shit on and say, oh well, he's making a beta move by trying to build himself up to get money?
No, I wasn't using beta in order to as an insult. I was just saying that's the beta male strategy.
I have
a real these days. So
I want to ask the brother a question.
What if he's physically attractive and he still builds himself up and gets money, and women are attracted to the money? Would he be doing a beta male strategy then? It's almost like you're saying you have to be knighted by women, validated by women first, and then anything you do after that it's okay. But if your women don't give you the pat on the head, stamp of approval, then anything else you're doing in life, you're basically doing beta male dancing to try to get the woman.
You guys are using
Bernard,
go ahead, MOT.
Can I say something real quick? Okay, you have to understand, before the 50s, a beta male is a man who wanted access to sex without productivity. It changed after the Goldie to Mac era, when all these unproductive niggas got access to these women and they overprocreated their community full of fuck babies. There was a definition of beta before that. And that is what you have here. Betas acting like they're alphas. Production is alpha. Feeding people is alpha. Access to women, byproduct. Not the sole responsibility of why man is on the earth.
And I have a question for I have a question for the brother. Are you implying that he shouldn't pursue this for himself?
No, I've never said that. These are all things.
Okay, so let's go ahead, since we've already established that fact, then let's not attribute what we're saying to the pursuit of women, because you yourself just said that, well, no, there's actually no problem in actually acquiring these things simply for one's own self gratification. This is simply all we're talking about, and then there's the byproducts that come as a result. Are we all clear on this?
No, I'm clear, but the only thing I was trying to say earlier was, why are we assuming that he's not doing all the things that we're saying?
Because I can answer that.
Okay.
Because if he was doing what we were saying, he wouldn't be so preoccupied with what women think about him.
Bingo.
Okay.
He wouldn't go, brother. He wouldn't give a shit. He wouldn't care.
No. Hold on. No, but I see your point. But again, the man is 19 years old. When you're 19 years old and no women finds you attractive, even though you might be on your purpose, that's still going to be an issue for you.
Tell him.
It
tell him
shouldn't.
other-
It shouldn't be.
It
though.
shouldn't. I already marked. I already told you where we clip at, where we start to really clip at. Okay, we're jumping the gun here just a little bit, bro. We're jumping the gun just a little bit at 19. You know,
Complex. So let me ask you this: were you an incel when you were 19?
what the no, man? Like what?
Okay, so
Huh?
Wow.
There were no incels when we were.
There
19.
was no such thing as a. That's what I mean, bro. It's kind of like you dealt with the environment as it was. There was no such thing as a fucking incel.
Classifications get us in trouble. They really do. Like when you're trying to lump people.
That's a current modern.
Yeah.
Well, there was a such thing. There had to be a such thing as a 19-year-old version back then. You assume it was some.
Yeah.
I mean, when we talking 90s.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
that man didn't give up on life because he was a 19.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Give up on life.
Again, why are we assuming? You guys are making a whole bunch of assumptions. Why are we assuming that this man has given up on life?
Well, Bernard,
they're taking. Hold on, real quick. They're taking the term "it's over," so it sounds like they're giving up on life. But if they're being clear that it's only over in terms of them getting some pussy, then they're not giving up on life. They're just acknowledging that they can't get no pussy. But it do sound defeatist, as if it's over in other ways.
If you're 19,
hello, this is Lord. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to you. My bad. You've been down there.
Lord,
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm about to go to you real soon.
I was just gonna say these incels still have jobs, they still have hobbies, they still have passions. Why are we assuming that this man has just given up on life in general and he's just all down in the dumps, not doing shit, just super depressed, about to kill himself? When sure, like
well, there was that whole broke part that he said too, and then the I'm short, I'm ugly, and then and when you pile it all together, I don't know, man. I'm getting the notion or the idea here that he's kind of packed it in.
Let me give you an example. Biggie said, "Black and ugly as ever," right?
However,
Biggie
had a
Biggie said, "Black and ugly as ever, coochie down to the sock."
Yeah, but Biggie was black ugly as ever with the however. Some of these niggas, if they black ugly as ever without the however, that's gonna be a problem.
However, Biggie was one of the illest. He was one of the illest. That's the whatever. That's the goddamn.
That's the productivity, dude. Come on, man. He was known for something. Come on, dude.
Yeah, they got to get their however together.
Yeah, black, ugly as ever. Absolutely. And in spite of that, I'm going to get all the women I want. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make this money. I'm going to pull some of the baddest broads you've ever seen. Well, I mean, Little Kim, not really, but
everybody can't.
Hold on, Biggie becoming a succcessful, famous rapper. That was a beta male strategy.
Okay,
follow the logic. Hold on, real quick. Shout out to Ty Cities.
I would have told Biggie on those Brooklyn corners, man, you're an incel, dude. Just don't even try. Man, you're never going to be able to succeed.
Yeah, how many incel do you know are smashing MCs on street corners in Brooklyn, son?
Thank you.
You wouldn't tell an ugly dude who decided to sell crack and now he got a lot of money and he riding around with a Cadillac with spinning rims and shit, and now he got women. You wouldn't tell him that was a beta male strategy.
You wouldn't tell him at 19 it was over if you knew what his future held for him.
So it's almost like that goes back to what MOT is saying. If somebody is doing something productive to improve their overall self-worth and value and their sexual market value, that you call it's a beta male strategy if they're using productivity and accomplishments to elevate themselves. That's almost like where it sounds like it's going. But I got to go to the brother at the bottom. But real quick, Ty City, if somebody start a YouTube channel, come out as a dating coach, call it beta male strategies, but they're talking about how to get your money right. But that's what their coaching methods are. But call it beta male strategies.
I thought there was one out there, Bernard.
It is.
The dating coach for the non-select guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Fair point.
For specific strategy.
Oh shit! You know it took that long, bro. It took that long.
Beta male strategy.
Goodness. Beta male strategy.
Okay.
Fuck all y'all, man.
I want you to get your body right. and stand up in the lineup like unusual suspects and get picked by the most lowest quality woman of all time. That's a bit feel strange.
Dragon Master, these dudes want to be alpha on the plantation so bad. Thank you for the super chat. It was somebody who sent a super chat that I forgot. I missed some super chats. The conversation got intense, so I missed somebody's super chat. I apologize for that. I'm trying to catch another one right there. New came through. He said, Bernard, last Saturday he literally said he wanted.
Oh my God!
You talking about the Dark Knight, dude? See? The Darkest Night?
Yeah.
Whoa!
We need to get in contact with this dude.
Yeah, we got to get in contact with him.
We need to get in contact with him.
Man. See, dude, come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is the shit I'm talking about right here. This is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Like, motherfuckers need to tune this bullshit out, man. Because look, I ain't feeling this shit right here, man.
Now, what did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
No, I'm not.
I said men that say it's over, they go get their Taurus 9mm. That's what they.
I hope you ain't standing on that shit, bro.
So you
can't stand on that shit.
No, look. This is something again. I've never came on any of these.
Come on, man.
No, man. Well, let's just stand up right now and let's try to get in contact with this dude. We have to get in contact.
Yeah, for real.
Real shit.
Bring
let's
him
do
on
it, man.
and try to.
Man. Come on, dude. No, man.
We have to do that.
Shit.
Yeah, we gotta.
Motherfuckers want to argue about shit, and then I see something like this. Are you fucking for real?
And then you're trying to justify his feelings. This is what I don't understand. How is anybody coming up here trying to justify the feelings he had?
No. Here's what you guys have to do. You guys have to validate his experiences. Listen to what he's saying. If he's telling you when it comes to his plight, here's the thing. I'm all down for a man putting women to the side and pursuing his purpose. I'm 100% down for that. But all I'm saying is on the realm when it comes to dating, when it comes to that, if he's telling you that there's nothing that he can do right now, listen to the brother. Just because it was easy or it was different for you back in your day doesn't mean it's the same exact thing for him. That's why I was trying to tell you, Complex, was that you're trying to say, yeah, everything's the same as you're trying to say something's like, oh, it's not different. It is.
Nah, man, I ain't hearing all that, dude. Like, real talk, man. You done already heard where we coming from, and reading that shit, I ain't feeling it, bro.
Black Pill J. Let me say this, man.
Is this dude online? Is he on the internet? Where's this dude at?
Yeah, no, he be in my chat. He be in my chat. So,
that's what I'm saying, man. Come on, dude.
And he commented, his name is The Darkest Night. Go to my last video, and he left a comment, and you'll be able to see it. I don't know if you'll be able to click on his name and find anything, but somebody do need to talk to him. Somebody definitely do need to talk to him. If that's true,
I'll talk to him.
Real quick. All right, Counselor Murray, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. All right, we're about to go to Lord Commander. He's been waiting patiently from a while. And somebody just came up in the back chat. Want to know how old you are, BPJ? What are you, like 26, 27?
I'm 28.
28? Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Let me roll out, man. I'm gonna try to get in contact with this dude, man. Y'all be nice, all right?
Hey, MOT, I'm gonna hit you up later.
Yeah, if I see him, I try to get his email if I see him back in the chat. The Roger Report, he said, women can only define manhood of men that don't understand manhood. The terms alpha and beta have nothing to do with women. No manhood training I ever heard of included the approval of women. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And Lord Commander, thank you for being patient. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
So,
I mean, to me, there's two forms of alpha. There's alpha amongst men, and then there's alpha amongst women. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like of course, one can bleed over into the other, right? But we all know pussy niggas that can get women, and we all know, and it's typically when a man is an alpha amongst men, there will typically be at least some women that's interested. And it seems to me like I'm hearing like a lot of strategy about, to me, like when I put it in my terms, I say, hey, to this 19-year-old man, hey, your strategy is to not care about things that people care about, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like as a man, of course, you get some social validation from getting women. And so the strategy for this brother is, hey, brother, just keep your head down, wait 10, 15 years, and then, if you work hard, you could be on top. But know what I'm saying? To me, at 19, you're not promised to make it to see 30, bro. You know what I'm saying? What so to me, what can he do now to help the situation? Because you're not promised to make it to see 30 or 35 to where your bankroll is
$40.
actually big enough.
I'd
You know
like
what I'm
to
saying? Like, go ahead.
Well, okay. I don't think will work out like that to where he literally have to be a virgin until he's 30. He will gradually live more and get better in the process. It's like you're going to get more and more value as you're growing, as you're going to be earning and learning at the same time.
Life
So
is
I don't
not
think
linear, man. It's not linear.
Yeah, so I don't think I don't think it's literally just wait 15 years, wait till you turn 35, and then now you finally get to stick your dick in a vagina. Like, no, I don't think it will play out like that for him. But if it is the case that he is short, ugly, and broke at 19, yeah, to go work hard, pick up a skill, pick up some type of skill, start making more money, and become more valuable, attempt to be more social. Eventually, he will get something. That's what I believe.
If I could chime in real quick, I have no doubt, Black Pill J, that this brother's basing his feelings off personal experiences. But I will also guarantee you his feelings of wanting to take his life also derive from all the negativity that he hears from all over YouTube, all over social media, that guys like him just won't make it. It's not solely based on his personal experiences. There's no way. How many ugly, fat 19-year-old men have existed through the millennia? How many? And how many went on to live perfectly productive, happy lives 10, 15, 20 years down the road? He's not only basing these feelings of inadequacy and giving up on life on his own personal experiences. He's sitting, listening to all this horrible shit all day long from whatever groups or cliques or MGTOW this or blue, red pill, black pill that. He's listening to all this shit, and it's having a detrimental effect on his psyche. I would venture to say most of what has him feeling like it's over for him is not his personal experiences. How could it be at 19? He's 19. How many?
I can see where you're coming from. Here's the thing. I think that just like with anything, because hell, the red pill makes a lot of people depressed, and it gets them into a funk and a red pill rage and all that. But one thing I'll say, I know for me, when I started to get into these black pill spaces, it actually, I'm not gonna say it made my life better, but it definitely had a positive effect on my own perspective, because it made me realize, like, oh, I get women because of X, Y, and Z, my height and my looks. But for someone like Darkest Night, since he's short and ugly, he got into these spaces, because you got to realize he didn't get into these spaces by accident. He actively searched for reasons and searched for answers, and he ended up here. So I would agree with you that being around these spaces for a very long time, if you're weak-minded, probably isn't the best thing. But you got to understand, he's in these spaces for a reason. He was looking for answers to his problem, and he fully understands where he's at and why he has these experiences. But one thing I will say is that Zero is right in the chat. Pussy is undefeated. So it's easy for a lot of us to say, well, you should just focus on your career, focus on this, focus on your
pussy. It can't be defeated.
I was just gonna say, it's easy for us to say these things because we had that sexual need met. Because here's the thing about, I'll say this about myself. Once I have sex, and once I kind of get that out of the way, productivity comes a lot easier, because that carnal need for sex has already been quenched. And Rolo Tomasi even said it in one of his live streams.
Oh my God.
No, I was speaking for me. I was speaking for me. I wasn't speaking for you. But the only thing I was going to say was that I'm not sure where they got this from, but I've heard somewhere, Rolo Tomasi talked about it. He's one of the guys I like to follow. That men actually prioritize sex over food.
Isn't Rolo Tomasi married? Oh, guys, I'm not familiar with this Caucasoid. Isn't he married? Rolo Tomasi?
Yeah, he's married.
But really?
So the people that are
all right, hold your thought, Chaos. Let me get these super chats. Aizen Simon said the problem is that guys think that women actually love, like, and care about them. Guys must learn that women only care about themselves. Aizen Sama, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. And Blitz7094 says, "Hey, Complex, you remember on Sister George or Concrete Rose channel, they said Complex doesn't, yeah, Miss J said Complex doesn't exist. And I think Obsidian said it best when he said that no, men like Complex don't exist to Miss J because she can't get them. I think that sums up Miss J saying Complex doesn't exist. Well, this Dark Knight dude doesn't exist to women.
That shouldn't. And so if the reality is that women just don't see, if you're non-existent to them, that doesn't fucking stop you from pursuing a fat bank account and shit, because the reality is that the results of living a certain type of lifestyle will net you results. I mean, I can only, yeah, I'm only gonna speak for myself on that, but I mean, hey, teach their own, man.
This is the problem. And I hope you don't mind if I use it.
You're good, man. Go ahead.
The women didn't see possibly Complex design when he was young. They didn't see him, but now that he's older and successful, he doesn't see them. That's all that's going on. They didn't see him when he was young and working hard and focused, had his head down, didn't have on the crispy J's and the Gucci belt buckle, and didn't have all the tattoos and shit. They didn't see him. But now that he's older and successful, he doesn't see them. You see how that works?
Before we go to chaos, I do want to give Black Pill J's response to this. I kind of touched on this earlier in the show. Femininity overload says, so what if he is short, round, and ugly? He didn't say round, but let's just go with that. What if he is short, round, and ugly? There are short, round, and ugly women ready to be with him. The issue is more self-confidence than anything. BPJ, go ahead and give your response to that.
Oh, what's this?
And I'll respond after.
Yeah, well, basically, sure, there's a lot of short, ugly women around, but the problem is the short, ugly women can get guys who are in shape. The short, ugly women can go on Tinder and get someone who's at least 2 points above their looks level. So, yes, maybe in a different era that might have been the case, but nowadays in 2020, short, ugly women have more options than even someone who is above average in looks when it comes to men. Literally, short, ugly women have far more options than an attractive everyday man. So that's what I gotta say to that.
I think Zero's hitting the point here. Can I read the super chat, Bernard?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Zero says, let's leave the black pill out of this. It's not about nihilism, lethargy, or any of the things that mean give up. It's actually about acknowledgement. And this is what I'm saying. Okay, so in spite of all this, like, does he pack it in?
Yeah. I think that's what happens a lot with. That's why The Darkest Night, his comment was interesting to me, because he was one of the first ones I talked to that was really on that shit. That's what I kind of gathered from him. But
hey, Bernard, I gotta drop off though. I appreciate all y'all brothers. Little Big Nate,
absolutely.
Game Changer, BP, Chaos, the other brother that's there. Chat, peace off.
All right. Damn it, I wanted to go. Now, Chaos, be patient. I'm about to go to you, Chaos, but Game Changer wanted to respond to what JV said. So go ahead, Game Changer. Thanks for the super chat, Zero. Good points there.
Yeah, no worries. So the brother with the black pill in hand, BPJ, he said it best. So, I don't really have much to say on top of that. Now, I will say the problem with that is that you can only go so low, and the lower the guys are, the more likely, they simply can't. Now, fortunately,
if they are 3, they can't drop down to a 0.
Well, yeah, exactly. If they're 3, they can probably go down to a 1, but then where do the 2s go? So eventually, I mean, like a 3, I guess, could go out with a shorter, fatter woman, like a woman who's really, really short and really, really fat.
Yeah, but a 1 would have to be like my 600-pound life chick. Like, I mean, so I don't know. You got to wheel her around. But okay, anyway.
Well, I mean, but it's not even. It's. I think that BPJ, and he did say at least. I think he was being polite when he says 2 points. I think it's significantly higher, the difference. But the fact of the matter remains is that, with all of the men dating down and all of the women dating up, that creates a significant problem for both the men at the bottom and the women at the top.
You see, if all women are dating up, then you can't go above 10 either. So, and let's go with the 2-point thing. Where will all the 9 and 10 females date? And that's some of the problems that we see. And that's why we get the complaints that we have with this recent Tommy Lauren. I'm not giving her a 9 or a 10, but I'm saying
Yeah.
And if you notice, and if you notice, all of these 9s and 10s that you see on Instagram, 9 out of 10 times they're always single. We all know they're fucking someone, but they're always single. And the reason,
it's a problem on both ends for both lower tier men and higher tier women. And I don't think the higher tier women really understand their part in perpetuating this problem for themselves.
And it's part of the consequences. There are severe consequences for you being out here and taking advantage of your beauty, not in an intelligent way, but in this lunatic hypergamous way where you're always monkey branching and trying to get one up. A dude that's that much taller or has that much more money instead of being satisfied with the man that you have and building a future with him.
Well, I think that the attractive women don't really understand or they're suffering from the consequences of being in a sisterhood with ugly ass bitches. You see, you have no place. They're not your friends. A 2 cannot be friends with a 9. She simply can't.
The 2 is there to make the 9 look better. That's why the 2's there.
They have no alliances that's going to function over a long period of time. That's why they're in the situation they're in now. They're both trying to feed off of each other, and they're both trying to undermine each other. Now, in modern society, the 2 is more successful. In doing so, really? That's why the 9s are more miserable than the less attractive women. I'll get into that later.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I'd like to hear you elaborate on that. That sounds interesting.
I will on my show.
Cool. Okay, cool. Chaos Rain, thank you for being so patient. Go ahead, you got the floor, you got the mic.
To the 28-year-old man that's up on here in this panel, he talks about these 5-6 because they got the internet out. They got options to, I guess, bang certain types of men. Is that what I'm hearing? The ones that look not appealing that could still get a man to fuck him. Is that what I'm hearing, bro?
You talking to me?
I think he's talking to BPJ.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're a woman who's 6 or an average, or you're even unattractive, you can hook up with the man who's significantly above your looks level. Yep.
Now you understand that their validation now in this era is how much men they could fuck. When regardless when they really securing something, that's non-existent. Are you aware of that, BBJ? Because any man could fuck any low-level chick if she has a certain look, body-wise. Yeah, they're gonna fuck her, but in regardless long-term, no. So if you base it on because they get some dick up the side, I mean, you waste your time. Hold on, let me finish. You try to get what you can get, but while the time is, you be productive as a man. You don't put too much emphasis of what these chicks are doing if they're getting dick down. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to a certain level, and not only a level, but also what you want as a man, then any woman that comes to you now, they're going to have to follow your standard because this is what's lacking with a lot of black men overall because we don't set a standard enough. So the ones that are doing what they should be doing, you should not even waste your time taking anybody that's been used up, that has kids and all this stuff, especially if you have no kids. It's just logic. That's what Complex and MOT been saying. You have to be on some purpose, be on your grind. I'm saying try to get as much research as possible.
Look,
hold on, let me finish. And eventually, the women that will sit there, they're gonna see that, and eventually, they're gonna try to either shoot the shot at you, or wherever you're shooting your shot. But by the time then, but meanwhile, you should be productive. You know what I'm saying, and try not to be antisocial. To sit there hanging up at 19 years old, and a lot of us up here are probably older up here. If that's the mindset for the young dudes now coming up, this is a problem. And I advise most young dudes stay away from certain spaces because you need therapy. No, I'm serious, guys.
Yes,
that's a therapy issue because no man, I don't give a fuck what oil should be hanging up and like because you're not getting pussy.
Yeah,
like you gotta have some better purpose up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, we all agree with that. That when New posted
I know some of us agree,
that super chat when when New
Man,
posted
I
that,
don't like hearing this shit. Even the dude that's out here, he's gonna commit
whoa,
suicide.
pump your brakes, pump your brakes. We already had our emotional outrage moment when New posted the super chat that that the dude was thinking about killing himself, and MOT trying to find him right now. He's trying to, figure out. I mean, I don't know how serious that was, but with this whole concept where dudes are, because they, it's like that black pill incel nihilistic defeatist shit that some of them are going that far with it, where they just basically saying, they're not just saying it's over in terms of I'm short and unattractive, I can't get no ass. They're saying it's over in general. It's like that's like almost like the dog whistle when they're saying it's over. So yeah, we on that, and we giving that a close look, and we're definitely trying to find the guy who allegedly said something about trying to take himself out or something like that.
And
that is over rhetoric, and you need to stop.
Right quick, chaos.
Let me wrap this up. And
right quick, chaos, and then because I'm about to go. So Bernard, I didn't know that we were dealing with an issue of life or death here. So I didn't either. So on that, I'm a bail out. I suggest we change the topic.
Yeah, no, we did, and Chaos had brought it back to that. That's why I was trying to stop him and say that we already had our initial, emotional outrage when we heard that, whoa, somebody was really saying that. But we got past that. Most people, when they're saying it's over, they're talking about that they can't get no pussy. But I think it is some dog whistling going on by some, and that needs to be investigated. But I'm not trying to investigate it here, and I'm not trying to go all the way there with it here right now on this show.
So yeah, I'm off. I'm out of this discussion. I'm gonna leave on this note. But if that is the case, then there are national hotlines and help centers for such a thing. But I won't be talking on that. On right on. All right, thanks a lot for having me, Bernard.
Yep, all right, thank you, Game Trainer. But let me wrap this up. Tell you this, because I'm hearing this now, and for y'all young people not understand, when we watch even Kevin's showing these women delusional, we already know these women delusional. What they said they want, they're not going to attain. We don't focus on that because reality and the environment's going to teach them at the end of the day. We as men, we deal with the environment as is. We don't focus too much about what they can get or what they cannot get. Because at the end of the day, if a woman reaches a certain age, they're not married and they have kids, they already know they already set the grade for themselves. It's the focus on the men now, here right now, even the young ones. If y'all gonna take on this content, take it overall and try to improve yourself. Do not sit there and feel to hang it up because of this reality of what you can attain now, especially if you're not even over the age of 30, 35. You should be more focused on anything else. The dudes that got it went through their stages. And like any person that's come up, you're going to go through your stages too. The only problem is in this environment, this digital space, you're going to have to be more proactive. You're going to have to cut off the antisocial behavior because this is what technology does. It's creating an environment of a lot of people that's coming up being very more antisocial. And with antisocial behavior, you're not going to get far. That's all I'm going to say.
And that's where adaptation comes in. You're not capitulating to this environment. You're going to adapt to it. You're going to just focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna develop your talents and skills. You're gonna go get certified in whatever you want to do, and you're gonna make money. You're gonna buy your first house. You're gonna buy your first Mustang, Camaro, or C7, and you're gonna enjoy yourself. And then eventually, the women will come along. I promise you.
Hey, a little big. I got a question.
And one thing I want to say.
Let me just ask.
This last thing. This is why I started noticing with the single mother thing, with these boys being raised for a long time by mother, it is really hurting their growth in their development overall. From what I watch now, because I'm finding a rise on this amongst black boys, and this is a problem. You get me? Yeah. And that's why a lot of y'all boys, that if y'all still in your living with your mother, you gotta get out of that environment as soon as possible.
I got a question for you.
ASAP. ASAP. This is not this conversation out. To find hearing about suicide and all this shit. Yeah, maybe y'all need to get off that fucking titty fast.
All right.
It doesn't have much. It has less to do with their mother and more to do with black culture.
I don't give a fuck about that.
The way get off the titty and get out of these environments where they're filling your head with all this negative shit, man. Chaos Reign is right, man. And like I said earlier, you're being conditioned to think it's hopeless. It's not that it's hopeless. You're being conditioned to think that it's hopeless.
Little Big Nate, I got a question. Just real quick. Just a quick question, bro. When you were younger and doing what you're saying to do, which was pursuing your purpose and basically going out there and making money and doing your thing, right? That was when you were in your 20s, would you say?
Are you talking to me or Chaos?
Yeah, I'm just asking you.
Oh, okay. I didn't get into my career till my mid-20s.
Okay, but you were pursuing your shit, right?
Oh yeah, I was working, making money.
Okay, cool. And how long of a period was this?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Like, was this in like a 5-year period, a 10-year period that you were working towards your career?
It took me about a year to get qualified to do the job that I do.
Okay, but my ultimate question is, while you were pursuing your career and doing that, were you dating and having relationships with women along the way?
I was, but my awkwardness, I wasn't able to land the women I necessarily wanted. I was able to date.
Getting sex though.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see my point here? The point being is that, yes, when you are pursuing your dreams, it is easier to do when that need is being met on a semi-regular basis. But when someone does not have that, it's a lot harder for them to actually focus on their career and their purpose, because they're not even having that basic need, that basic sexual need to be fulfilled. That's why.
Okay, well, how about this? How about this? I'm about to go to you in a second, Archer. But how about this, Black Pill J? Okay, somebody's 19. He's short. He's broke. He's ugly. He can go to trade school. He can pick up a trade, and once a week, just assuming, because like when you go into trade school, quite often you're working in that trade, doing lower level end of it, and you're a journeyman. You're learning the skill, so you do got to check while you're in trade school. So just buy some pussy once a week, and then while keep building himself.
He could do that, but the point I'm trying to make, he could definitely do that. But the point I was trying to make is that we're talking about how, yeah, you got to pursue your thing. It's not about women. It's not about women. But everyone on the panel who is saying this got women while they were pursuing their fucking career.
But why doesn't he understand that if you go ahead and start, he's 19. How focused could he be on his career? He's 19.
Were you getting women at 19?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So you were a virgin.
No. At 19, you do not get women.
No.
I understand being a 19-year-old virgin is frustrating, but it's no excuse to not go out there and pick up a skill and make yourself more valuable and out there. And seeing as the possibility of just buying some pussy to hold here and there to hold you over, if you're saying that not getting pussy is going to make you not want to go pursue your passions, then okay, it's a way to scratch the itch. I mean, that's why I don't understand that aspect of it. You can get the itch scratched. Yeah, you'll be a little frustrated, but you can get the itch scratched. There's
a bigger problem with black men when it comes to this issue of being 19 and expecting to land a whole bunch of bitches. Like,
I don't even know. Hold on, I don't know if the guy is expecting to land a bunch of bitches. The guy in question here, his problem was he couldn't get not one single bitch.
Even getting one, you have to understand that a man of any race, if we want to talk about SMV, sexual market value, a man's sexual market value is at its lowest when he is 19. A woman's sexual market value is at her highest when she is 19. Therefore, when I was 19, I was struggling with women. And in the black community, we have a sense as men that we have to do everything young. We have to make it big young. All the rappers, their name is Young or Little, or they're like 50 years old, named Young and Little. Like, we have this concept where as a man, we have to get there very quickly and very young. Otherwise, we expire. And our women have the concept of where they have all the time in the world to do whatever the fuck they want, which is completely backwards to the way the rest of the world fucking thinks.
Great point, man.
So what he needs to realize is that as a man at 19, you're not going to get pussy. Shit, I didn't get pussy. Like, as you get older, and and I was wondering when I was 19, like, who are all these bitches dating? Like, 19-year-old women date older men. Between the ages of 19 and 25, they're dating men in their 30s. Women like older men. Like, women just are naturally attracted to older men because they have a higher sexual market value. And older men are naturally attracted to younger women because they have a higher sexual market value. So therefore, don't be frustrated because you're not getting women at 19.
But
You're
by
not
that logic,
you
hold on.
have the
By that
least
logic, him
value
at
at that
18,
19.
but by that logic, him at 18, Darkest Night at 18 should have been able to attract a woman who was 16 by your logic.
By my lot, what?
You just said that older that women are attracted to older men.
Hold up.
Hold on.
Wait. No, because he was 18. No, wait. No, let me address that. Because he was 18 and he wasn't 25 yet.
No.
Because you're acting like the 2 years old.
Hold on, bro. No, you're not making any sense. If I agree with what you're saying, but if this is true, in the case of Darkest Night, him at 17, let's go 17 since that's to avoid the legality of it. Him at 17 should have been able to attract a woman who was 14 or 15, right?
In theory, but that's not the way it works in practice.
What do you mean in practice? That's what women do in high school.
Well, in practice, that's a 1 year difference. In high school, you're assuming you're making an assumption about the world as if it should be ideally. Like
girls in high school,
girls in high school are dating guys in college who are like 23, 24.
Okay, but a girl who's a freshman in high school are usually dating the seniors. So how come Darkest Night
if they're dating at all? But you be like, a lot of guys go through high school without being virgins. It's not a big deal.
No, I understand that, but the point I was trying to make was that if what you're saying is true, which it is, then Darkest Night should have been able to attract a woman who was younger than him.
Yeah, and a lot of things should have happened in this world that didn't happen. So
Darkest Night needs to stop looking at things in this collective macro sense, man. It's killing him.
You're getting clowned in the chat, BPJ, on this one. Yeah, man.
But Bernard, at 17, I understand what you're saying, but at 17, dudes who are 17 in high school are able to date younger women who are freshmen or sophomores. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, but when we get to the point where we talking about kids in high school, we talking about kids, man.
All 16-year-olds are dating. It's like kind of that just dilutes the conversation. It muddies the water because at 18 and you're trying to get even the 16-year-old girl, it's just like, okay, yeah, there are the 16-year-old girls out there who have a high body count, but it's I'm not even gonna go into how that dating market works because really I don't.
Yeah, I mean we're talking about a high school dating market. Like when we go there, we're far upfield. We're on the moon. We're all over the damn place at that point.
I think most high school.
Yeah, let Big Nate. I know you wanted to jump in there on that, but it is time to move. We're not talking about what's going on with children. We just not doing that. But Mr. Shane Vitches, man, I was serious when I said, I want you to change that picture if you're gonna be posting here with a wrench, if I'm not mistaken. You got Alan Roger Curry's logo for his book and Alpha Male Strategy's name under there. That's not cool. You're shitting on somebody's brand. We can't do that. You gotta change that, man. You gotta change that if you're gonna be posting over here with a wrench.
Call ARC and he had a while out.
That's not cool. That's the man's book. That's his brand. That's his baby. That's his livelihood. And you're putting another dating coach's name on it. I don't know if it's some kind of joke, but you gotta get rid of that. You can't do that here. All right, bro. Speak. We at the 3 hour mark, so we're about to get off of here pretty soon. Yeah, I know, but okay, hold on. Zero, you say that's called satire, but I get what you're saying. It's satire, but at the same time, that is somebody's trademarked brand shit that he's putting another man's name on. It's not cool. It's not cool. From a business standpoint, it's not the right thing to do. Bro, speak. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Okay. Just be real quick about it. I think there's something else going on besides the fact that he can't get women. Because if you're saying that it's over at 19, it's more than just the women that's the problem. So, and I think we really need to talk to this guy and find out what else is going on in his life besides not getting women. Because I was 19, I didn't have no girlfriend. I didn't lose my virginity till I was 20. So again, there's some other things going on with this guy's life than just women. I know it's maybe the main reason, but there's some other things going on, and I think that needs to be addressed more than him getting women, because like I said, 19 and you're thinking it's over with life, there is something else going on, and I think that needs to be addressed.
I just want to say, here's what I think.
Hold on, wait, bro. Speak to your point that yeah, it is more going on there because somebody did post a super chat about the person that we were talking about, and that he did say some things that kind of revealed that it was more going on with the guy, and we're trying to figure out a way to locate him, see if we can find the email at least. So yeah, MOT is on the job more or less. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to get down to the bottom of it. He might have some actual issues, and that got unearthed at about the 2 hour and 30 minute mark of the
Right.
show. Zero, were you referring to me and what I was saying about the guy who had Alpha Male Strategy's name on the cover of ARC's book? I understand that it's satire, but somebody's book, that's their livelihood, that's their brand, that's their shit, that's their actual trademarked property. So somebody else in the same field, you just can't put their name on that. I understand it's a joke, but I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
it's
people
not
get
cool.
sued.
It might, yeah, you can literally get sued for that, and it's just not cool. It's just not cool. So
Yo,
I ain't, I
Bernard, man,
can't, I
thank you,
can't.
bro. Thank you for letting me up on your show. I'm gonna say one more thing, then I'm gonna bounce off because my phone's about to die. But
All right, yeah, I was
one
about to
thing,
hop up off of here anyway, so you can go ahead and have the last word, man.
Oh,
one thing,
is it my
one,
first one thing, Bernard,
one
before
thing.
I go?
Oh yeah, you can get one more thing into BPJ.
Yeah, one thing that we got to understand is that in this space we have to kind of teach the X's and O's of what makes a man appealing to women rather than just women aren't shit type situations. Because if you get men like this 19-year-old boy who come into this space and just hear the constant, women are this and women are that, and doesn't hear anything that makes him realize what he has to do and how much time he has to grow, then it's easy for him to become discouraged. So we have to kind of have more balanced contact about teaching women nature, and also letting these brothers know who are young that you have time to grow, you have time to develop yourself. You don't have to have it, like, you don't have to have the Super Bowl at 19 years old. You don't have to win all the games at 19. Like, that's not the age you got to have it at. Like, so you got time to grow, brother. Don't get discouraged and give up that young, because that's cutting your face off, cutting your nose spite your face, dog. That's just too soon to do it.
Right on, right on. All right, go ahead, BPJ. I guess we can do some last words. Anybody else want to get some last words in real quick? Femininity Overload says, "Is there an incel course to teach them how to whisper sweet nothings in women's ear? I believe dating coaches essentially are running incel courses in private sessions. I believe, I'm not 100% sure what they do. I think that's what they do. A bunch of immigrant men who don't have a pot to piss in get women just by saying a bunch of nothing. Yes, and there's among those immigrant men, I'm sure there are some that don't get pussy. And just like amongst black men, there are some that don't got a pot to piss in that still get a lot of pussy because they know how to, as you say, whisper the sweet nothings, and there's some that don't. So there's variance in levels in the bell curves for all men. So I don't know, bringing up the immigrant men, how some of them can get on without having shit. Yeah, it's a lot of dudes that can do that too. But a lot of American black men that can do the same shit, and some that can't. But all right,
I'll wrap up. I just want to say just one thing.
Right.
I was just gonna say, because I know that a lot of us are saying, well, yeah, I lost my virginity at 19. I lost my virginity at 20. With Darkest Night, it's not really about the virginity. It's not about him having sex. It's really about anything. This is a man who probably has never been kissed, probably has never had his hand held, probably has never been a date, probably has rarely, if ever, had a positive romantic interaction with a woman. A lot of us here, sure, I lost my virginity at a later age, but guess what? I still had the validation at an earlier age too, to some degree. So when a man like this young man, Darkest Night, it's not really about the sex is what I'm just trying to get at. He hasn't had any sort of positive validation. And I think that can decay on a young man, especially when he's watching these music videos like WAP and all this overt sexuality. I think that here's the last thing I'll say is that I don't think that it's necessarily the black pill or these manosphere spaces that are making it worse. I think that the over sexualization of society is making it worse, because when you go on social media, when you go on and see on YouTube the music videos, the Cardi B's and all this other stuff where they're trying to imply that they're just throwing sexuality all around, but he's not getting any, that can grow very, very frustrating for a young man who's not able to get a drop. Imagine going on TV and watching all of these damn hamburger and fast food and restaurant commercials, but you ain't got shit in the fridge and you can't get fed even if you tried your hardest.
Understand it's some legit frustration with some of them. I like what Manosphere Maniac, he posted, I highlighted it a while ago when he posted, when these conversations wasn't being had, that's when he felt more hopeless. He feels better now that people are having these conversations. I can honestly say until recently, as last week, I wasn't aware how many incels really lurked around in this space. I thought it was exaggerated. I'm starting to have my mind changed.
No, Bernard, it's on the rise, man. I did not know even the term incel till last year, and then find now that it is a growing pandemic.
I didn't know it was that much of a thing. When shout out to BPJ when he said let's do a discussion about the black pill, and then eventually I did one with MGTOW dictionary, and I'm starting to notice some things that I didn't quite notice before. There are a lot of incels lurking among us. I didn't quite realize that
incels are like mutants. They're among us. You just don't know that they're around. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to. It's embarrassing. It's something that that we don't talk about it a lot because you get shamed for it. Hell, an incel can talk about his opinion on women, but he'll be shamed and disqualified because he's an incel. Women say it all the time. Well, do
you realize that you kind of just came out of the closet? You said we don't talk about it a lot. Are you an incel?
No, I'm just saying it's something that we don't talk about. That we as
a did it again. You did it again.
Mm-hmm.
You keep coming out the closet, bro.
I'll answer that. Have I been incel before? Almost, but no, because I was.
What was the longest you went?
From 2010 to 2012, so 2 years.
How old were you during that time?
I was 18 to 20.
Yeah, that would qualify. Would qualify. You were an incel then during that. I mean, that's legally an adult in 2 years without getting some ass. And wait, you was playing college basketball at your time, right?
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Well, the reason why I was incel was because I didn't have any game. See, here's the thing. I met the threshold of looks, but one problem was that women were more so attracted to my teammates more so than me. Like, I was the funny guy, but I wasn't like the hot guy on the basketball team. So that was one. And then the other issue is I was super blue pill and I just didn't have any game. If I had game, it would have been a different story.
In closing, let me say this. And I know I'm going to get some grief for it. I usually do get it when I say it. Y'all say what you'd like to in the chat, but where there's life, there's hope, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of hope you can have has a direct correlation to the amount of work you're willing to put in. I want you to Google the name Stephen fucking Hawking. Stephen Hawking had 2 wives. This man was a physicist at Cambridge. 2 wives. He's the guy that talks to the computer. Stephen Hawking. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love Stephen Hawking.
Hawking had 2 wives. He could barely move at this point in his life. He can barely physically move. And the man pulled 2 wives. And they weren't unattractive women either. Now he's got a pretty remarkable intellect, but with his life
he's one of the smartest guys ever. Why would you use him as an example?
Because he's quote unquote ugly and he's disabled.
The smartest man, one of the smartest men on the planet.
Ugly and he's disabled though.
But he's the smartest guy on the planet.
Oh, but no, wait, hold on. Y'all are on the brink of something that I thought about before that's interesting in these conversations. A lot of times, the guy who's short and ugly if he falls in that category, because we have the perception that if you're short and ugly and you're lacking in all those areas, that you're probably intelligent. What if some of these guys lack the intellect too, which means they don't have that ability to go and make that money and leverage life in another way? That could be also the problem too.
Stephen Hawking wasn't born brilliant.
Oh, come on now. Geniuses are born.
Oh, come on, dude. That's a debate for us to have.
Yeah, geniuses are born.
Okay.
They get those.
I'm not even. There are definitely prodigies, but there are also people who work their way into those.
You can't work your way into doing advanced theoretical astrophysics in your head. You can't work your way into that.
A 200 IQ, huh? So you mean to tell me that Darkest Knight's problems will be solved if he just had a 200 IQ? Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if Stephen Hawking can pull a woman, I would think
IQ.
He has the ultimate leverage.
Man got a mouthpiece because he's saying something to some chick that he married. If he got married more than once.
his genius. He leveraged his genius, made him rich. Okay, so he was rich. So you can't. The argument can't be these dudes just need to go and get rich. It's within reason. That's why I said pick up a skill. Go learn, carpentry or to be a pipe laying plumber or something, electrician. Go pick up a skilled trade. Make yourself valuable. Be productive. At some point in your life, you're going to be
black male space. We're not. So a good portion that talks is not being productive. You know how they talk about some Muslims are at home on the computer all day and not even trying to learn nothing. That's not production. Be productive. Learn something. Try to apply something. When you stop being productive as a man, what happens? Stagnation comes to play, and then death is the last and final straw.
Yeah, I got to question the mettle of any man that would tell another man that it's over and it's hopeless. I can't relate to that. It just doesn't
relate to that either.
It doesn't compute in my head. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just the kind of man I am, and say what you will about me, but the idea that it's over, it's only over when I'm 6 feet under. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah. Shout out to New. He says I was an incel for about 2 weeks. I've been an incel for about the last 36 hours. So I'm in a slump. I'll just play. But all right, fellas. All right. Yeah, we got to get up out of here. I see people in the chat. I'm sorry. Y'all got to catch me later. Not people in the chat, people in the queue.
My coach.
I got to catch me later. I got to get at y'all later because I got to get the hell up off of here.
My last thing.
Come on, you gonna say it last?
Are not getting that coochie.
You got 10 seconds.
Dating coach. Thank you.
What'd you say? What'd he say?
Invest money in a dating coach for all y'all that's not getting the pussy.
Invest money. Have you ever done that?
Nope, that's it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Chaos. Have you ever done that?
But dating coach?
Yeah, investing money in a dating coach.
I don't really need one. I don't focus on that.
Then why are you telling other people to do it? I think you low key did it. You don't gotta out yourself.
I'm telling that because when you talking about
you're coming out the closet, everybody coming out the closet.
No, the reason I'm saying that because to tap out the game, that's the confidence issue, and some dating coach can help on that. That's all.
All right, Sister George, thanks for the super chat. Says hope is dope. But all right. I do want to talk to somebody who's paid a dating coach. And I want to know what the process is like. Like, what are they really coaching on? I am curious about that. I got a few ideas on that type of shit, but I'm not going to talk about it on the air. I want to get a dating coach, and I'll go ahead and say this. I might get with ARC on this. I want to find an incel, and I want to get ARC, and I want to just drop down and like ARC do a live demonstration of what you do behind the scenes. When you're talking to somebody who you're giving the dating coach advice to. If you do 30-minute sessions, do a 30-minute session live on air. Let us see what you do. Let us see how you work. I don't know. It might not be a good idea business-wise for them to do that, but I would love to see that because I think it would just be bare minimum interesting. I would want to see how that works and how that plays out.
I mean, I'm not sure how you're going to pull that off, Bernard, but if you could, you're a real G if you could pull that off.
I would love to pull that off. Somebody said they've seen him do I seen him do a de facto session. I think he was on O'Shea, and it just happened to be some dude on there who was talking about problems with women, and ARC just happened to be on there, and ARC started talking to him, and it turned into a de facto session, and I was like, wow, you know, it was kind of impressive. It was kind of impressive. I kind of liked what I was hearing, but yeah. I would like to see something like that. I may contact ARC about that. I don't know if he's up for doing it, but we'll see. We'll see. So just stay tuned. That might happen. I might try to make that happen. But all right, y'all, we about to get up out of here for real this time. Peace, everybody. Thanks, Little Big Nate, Bro Speak, Chaos Rain, Game Changer, BPJ. Forgot who all else came on the panel. MOT, Archer J. Can't remember everybody else. Me saying please do a part 2. I don't know about that, Manosphere Maniac. But we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Bye.